Hi, folks, it's Thom. We're here to ask for your assistance. In the past, we've provided all of our videos free to the public, and we certainly hope to keep it that way. We're approaching 1,500 videos, and we are looking for ways to make our club more valuable to you. Soon, you will be able to access a database and sort through all of our videos by author, game master, and player, with links directly to YouTube. You'll also have links to the audio files on Spotify or iTunes. We're creating a gaming schedule for current and upcoming games for you to access. This reorganization is costing us a lot of time and effort. The only compensation that we get is from our Patreon site. For a few dollars a month, you can assist us to bring even more and diverse content. If you would like to help, go to patreon.com/intothedarkness. That's all one word. Just a few dollars is all we are asking. We love our patrons, and we would like to count you amongst them. Now back to the show. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Psychogenesis. It was written by Alex Sun, who is also the keeper of arcane lore. This is a one-shot. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Alex?
Thank you, Thom. 11 a.m. It is the 17th of March, 1927. It is a cool spring day in Arkham, Massachusetts. We go into the office of Crow Investigations, where Braden Kane, Floyd Stanton, and Dan Gascoigne are all going about their day. It's been a very slow week. Braden, could you describe what your character looks like and what they are doing?
Oh, yeah. I'm Irish American. I'm not going to try to do the accent. My family, the Kane family, has been in Arkham for almost 100 years now. It's large. I've got 7 brothers, not all of whom are in legitimate jobs. I've got flaming red hair, bright green eyes, and I'm a little bit on the heavy side. I'm also 20. I'm actually only 27. So
Very well. What about you, Dan Gascoigne?
Average height, but built kind of like a bulldog. Dan Gascoigne's particularly hefty in the upper body, short, bristly black hair, blue eyes, pretty messed up nose from childhood fights. And I'm gonna wish Braden a happy St. Paddy's Day and remind him that we keep the Irish whiskey in the bottom drawer, but not until after lunch.
When's that, about 9:30?
Wonderful. And last but not least, we have Floyd Stanton.
Yeah, Floyd's slightly above average in size, but maybe a strong enough gust of wind could knock him over. So there's a bit of a weird dichotomy there. That otherwise is dressed, at least tempted to dress formally, but as the heat's coming, he's ditched the jacket, collar's undone. Looks pretty good looking. He's a fairly handsome individual. There's maybe a hint of money about him from the quality of his shirt, cufflinks, and watch and the like. He's probably mooching around the kitchen, making one pot of tea after another, watching the clock tick by back and forth.
Right, and
waiting for something interesting to happen.
Right, and as you let those minutes go by watching that clock, Your tea is ready, and then there is the sound of mail going through the door slot.
Mail's here, Floyd.
Hey, they seem to make it more difficult to get here by 10 every morning. I will wander over and see if we've got anything of interest that is not a bill, final demand, death threat, or anything.
Right. So the first 3 envelopes on the top, they're all bills. So you push them to the side. And then that last one, though, it's urgent mail coming from Miskatonic University. Stamp and everything.
I always wonder why somewhere so local and prestigious, why can't they just pay a runner to bring this round? Why do they have to leave it to the mercy of the postal service to get to us? But I'll open it up.
Great. So this is addressed to the Crow Investigations Office, and it is from Dr. Thomas Elliott, Dean of Language, Literature, and the Arts from Miskatonic University, and he requests your presence at noon today, which is in an hour, to discuss a potential job that should be handled with the utmost discretion.
Something at the university, huh?
Misplaced
a student?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess I ain't got nothing. I've closed the Devin Kelly case. Does everybody agree?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. It's closed.
Okay. Are you all bringing anything, or what are you typically packing on a meeting or business trip?
University, just notepad and pencil.
I've got a small packet of like a paper bag full of almonds that I keep in my pocket so I can occasionally nibble on them from time to time.
Very good. I'm assuming you also have a car that you can carpool to get to the campus.
Yeah, probably we're also packing.
Very well.
But just like the under the arm holder.
Yeah. So as you get into your vehicle and you drive a couple blocks down to Miskatonic University, it is a sunny day. Students are moving from class to class. People are playing catch on the quad. And this is when we will cut to Philip Masterson, a graduate student. You have been called to the office of the dean, and here you are, sitting across from him in his office. He is a mustached man with glasses. He holds himself with confidence, and he says, so, Philip, I understand that you're attempting to get a doctorate degree here?
Yes. I research grounding objects for people, especially those with touches of madness. You know how a small child will ground themselves with a teddy or something. Some adults will ground themselves with a gun or a photo or something like that, and that's where my research revolves around. Is there something wrong? Like, what's going on?
Well, you're here because I need your help, and I want to see your doctorate thesis succeed. So, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes. How can I help? He puts his left hand inside his jacket pocket.
Well, a professor, the one that was on sabbatical, Professor
Dr. Butterfield.
Yes, Dr. Butterfield. He's been missing for 3 days now, and you're going to assist some private investigators in finding him. And from my understanding, he was working on some clinical trials or case studies that are very, let's say it needs discretion. So you can be my eyes and ears watching this PI group.
Yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, it seems that they're here now. Why don't you invite them in? And as you open the door to invite them in, as they're waiting outside, could you describe what you look like?
So Philip is a wiry, jittery, nervous wreck of a human being. Periodically, he puts his hand into his left pocket and pulls it out again. And he's sort of his eyes dart about the place. He's sort of like, "Yes, hi, hello. Are you the detectives?"
You're muted.
You're all muted.
Yes, we're here to see Dr. Elliot.
Yes. Come in. He's ready for you now.
Excellent. Come in, gentlemen. Come in.
Dr. Elliot. Brady
Yes.
came.
Pleasure to meet you. And he gives you a hearty handshake.
Dan Gascoigne.
All around.
You like an almond?
Sure. He'll take exactly one because you said a almond.
Help yourself.
Well, I understand that your organization is excels at discretion.
That we do.
Well,
You got a problem, we can help solve it.
well, I'd love to hire your services to look into a missing persons case. Dr. Lewis Butterfield has gone missing. And from my understanding, he was working on some clinical trials, testing these psychological theories that he's been coming up with. And just from what we found in his office has been troubling enough not to go to the officials or the police officers. And we'd like you to find out the whereabouts of Dr. Butterfield. Now, we'll get you the information. We'll give you his address, the key to his office, whatever you need.
Is this your assistant?
Philip here is familiar with the psychology department, and he's here to help out.
Hi,
So
I'm here to help.
So he's a trusted associate of yours. We can
Yes.
keep him in confidence. All right. Is that Lewis as in Louis or Lewis as in Sinclair?
Lewis as in Louis.
And how long has your professor been missing?
He's been missing for 3 days now.
So
He's been here for years, tenured.
Anybody just forget that his schedule might say that he was going on vacation for 3 days?
No, the nurses assigned to his clinical trials, they have no idea where he is either.
Is he a married gentleman, your Butterfield?
He is not. And from my understanding, he just got back from sabbatical about 2 weeks ago.
How is he viewed by the general university? Well respected, little.
He is well respected. He's been, let's say, at the forefront of psychological findings in education.
Mr. Masterson, did you know him personally?
He was very helpful in writing my mission statement, and helping me come up with coming up with my topic of research. He could really get to know you as a person and help you find something that really you would really excel at, and that's why all the undergrads really like him as well. Although they don't see him very much, everyone really liked him, I think. At least
So rather affable individual. Students
Yeah.
liked him. And have you ever heard any complaints, Dr. Elliot, from this other staff about him?
No, not at all. I don't see any reason where his peers would become jealous or anything like that.
Well, then,
What's his specialty?
Psychology. He's a psychiatrist.
A psychiatrist. So he does that mean he's does drug research?
Research into the mind,
Huh.
of the mind and what causes illnesses, such
But
as
from
antisocial behavior or
so he's a
anorexia.
psychologist, not a psychiatrist.
No, he is a psychiatrist. So
He has a medical degree.
Yeah, he does.
Well, I suppose we should take a look at his classroom, his office.
Yeah. Can I ask Dr. Elliott I'm sure we'll see for ourselves, but from your standpoint, what is the sensitive issue that you would like to avoid becoming public?
Well, let's say that his notes are a mess from what I've seen. They are ravings about the four horsemen of Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Yes.
And the notes are still there in his office?
Yes, we did not touch anything. And of course, he's on tenure. So
do you have any idea whether he was a religious man?
no. He was not deeply religious, from my understanding.
And do we know where he went for his sabbatical that he got back from?
He said that he was taking a trip across Europe.
Sure.
Nice trip. Well, perhaps then if we could see his office, we'll get started. We probably negotiate,
You do.
you know.
He writes a number that you're very happy about.
All right.
Having kept quiet through the initial discussion, I just want to have stood there and watched him and trying to get an idea on is there anything he is deliberately trying to hide, skirt away from, not want to talk about, basically trying to do a psych roll on him.
Of course, go ahead and roll that.
And of course I fail even with my high skill. Yeah.
Okay. So he is sweating. He's nervous. He doesn't you just see it seems like he doesn't want this out.
Right. He's in charge of the university, so
Or at least
bad
this
publicity.
the school of language,
Right.
literature, and the arts.
Miskatonic runs on its reputation, so it doesn't want its reputation in any way.
And a lot of
damaged.
universities and schools, they get their money from research.
On that language, literature, and the arts. Yet he's a psychiatrist, so surely
Yep.
that's a medical school. So he's in a completely different department.
It should be psychology then. Yeah, I was using the source book for Arkham, and that's where it was under at the time, because it is in art.
Got it. So it fits. It's not like he's
Yeah.
a complete random department asking. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we might have more questions later, but at the moment, I
Of
can't
course,
think of
and he
anything.
gives you the number for his office.
Mr.
But-
Masterson, I assume you know where the office is.
Yes, if we're done here, I can take you there right now.
Do you drink coffee, kid?
No, I got told that coffee was bad for my someone of my weak physiology, so I don't drink coffee.
Well, you're safe with us, kid. Nothing's going to happen to you.
Okay. The office is just down the hall this way, and it'll shoot out the door.
All right, so you you walk down the hallways of this school, and you get to Butterfield's office. Unlocking the door, you can see that it's quite a mess. There's notes scattered everywhere. On one of the tables on this desk, there is a weird apparatus that looks like a mix between a headband and a projector, and it looks damaged.
You know what this machine is, kid?
I've seen it sometimes in his office, but I've never thought to ask. I always had something about my research that I needed to ask about, but I couldn't tell you what it is or what it does.
When you say it looks damaged, is there smoke? Is it charred, or were there visibly broken parts?
Yeah, you give it a whiff, and there is a faint smell of smoke. It looks burnt out, completely damaged.
Maybe we have some notes that would explain what this actually is or does. Can I look for some sort of documentation to go with the weird machine?
All right, so if you're gonna search the room, then we'll say you do that.
Cool.
Okay. I'll take a spot hidden roll for some extra info.
I did not succeed.
Reign of despair.
I did pass. Just a regular.
Okay. Wonderful. So this is the stuff that you get free spot hidden roll, and it is notes on Sigmund Freud, his personality theory, which came out in 1923, which saw the psyche structured into three parts: the id,
The
ego,
and the
superego. Yes, all developing at different stages of human life. There's also some comments on ego death and how ego death is the complete dissolution of someone's personality into a state of transcendence. Now, what you do find tucked away underneath the desk, Dan, you passed, right? Or no, Braden. You find some scrawlings of, maybe it looks like a draft of the thesis or a new paper, but in summary, it states that the majority of humanity is mentally ill, and that there are certain trigger phrases or actions for curing this mental illness. There is a power not in words themselves, but the power is from using the right words in the exact right way. And there are notes about the Four Horsemen.
I'll take the notes about the Four Horsemen. I'll look at them.
Right. And part of those notes is a Bible that's just been annotated, Book of Revelation.
Sure.
Especially the parts.
I'm Irish. I'm a
Horsemen.
Catholic. I know my Bible pretty well.
There you go. Then you would know what each horse represents.
Yep.
Famine, war, pestilence, and death.
So, could you say that again, Floyd?
Famine, war, pestilence, and death.
Yes. But some could even say it could be conquest or deception for the white horse. It could, for the red horse, it could be war or violence. Black horse, it could be famine. And the pale horse is pestilence or death. So it's really any. But they're all highlighted, annotated, all that.
Yes, the pale horse is the one that's usually oddly called the pale horse. The word in Latin and Greek is chloros, which is green.
Mm-hmm.
And pale, dead green.
As you're looking at the Bible, there is a scrawl just in the margin where the horsemen are described.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in this professor's writing. It says, "I have found a way to induce ego death in the participants, curing them of their antisocial behavior."
That's interesting. I, honest
But
to God, don't know what the hell any of that means, my character says.
yes, but of which participants, you have no idea.
Why write it in a Bible when there's plenty of normal sheets of paper and notebooks to write it in?
I mean, he seems obsessed by these four horsemen.
Yeah, I'll take a psychology roll as you're examining the handwriting because you can tell someone's mental state from handwriting.
Yay. Regular pass.
I got actually a hard 20 under 45.
Okay. And then I will say that state of mind, unstable at best.
You can see the way he loops this letter here. He's obviously unstable.
No one writes copperplate anymore.
Masterson, does he maintain a lab of some kind on campus? There was mention of nurses.
Yeah.
Yes. So he would be running ongoing experiments with various participants at a given stage of the year. I haven't visited him in his lab for some time, but that should be written down one of his diaries or planners around here somewhere, and I'll start just like throwing paper around looking for exactly.
Yeah, you find
where
the
that would
general
be.
place where he usually hosts his trials, which is probably a building over.
I'm wondering
yes,
if he's got anybody there waiting for him to get back from wherever he went.
maybe. Yeah. Yes. Here it is. I knew it was here somewhere. Yes. It's just nearby, a building or so over.
How old is this Butterfield?
I believe he'd be in his late 50s.
I wonder if he didn't just run off with one of his nurses. I mean, that's the simple explanation for this kind of thing.
I don't think that's his speed. How I don't know how to say it properly, but I don't think that's the sort of thing that he would do.
He's also unmarried. I mean, why would he have to run off with?
Because she's a nurse in his employ, maybe 20, 30 years younger than he is. Gentleman in his late 50s, has a sort of emotional crisis, starts reading the Bible, starts...
Maybe the other three nurses found out, and that's who he's running away from.
Maybe. I get the distinct feeling from a man in his 50s who's talking a lot about death that he's going through some sort of midlife crisis. That could be another reason why he's run away.
People just go out and buy a Studebaker if that's the case.
In his desk, is there anything like a journal or a diary? Is there any sign of a travel itinerary or?
No, it would not be here.
I want to gather some of these documents up together into a folder so that we can go over them over the course of the next day or so.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, at this point, it's around, let's say, 3 p.m. as you just had your meeting, had lunch, and then look through this guy's office. And you're heading over to the next building now, or are you going somewhere else?
Well, not quite yet, but are there any weird books or anything on his shelves?
No.
And no drugs in his drawers?
I would say probably nothing that he shouldn't have.
And there's obviously, the office was found locked. There's no sign of a struggle in here. Nothing was knocked over or broken.
That is correct.
Well, I've known a lot of professors that weren't very clean. That's what they usually have assistants for.
And the thing on the doohickey looks like it would fit around a standard human head.
Correct. As a matter of fact, it looks like the projector would project into the human.
There's no film in it, though. There's no rolls attached. And it's fried. If I look closely at the headband, are there any hairs caught in it?
Give me a spot hidden.
That is a regular, but not far from a hard. 3 points, if it's worth it.
Yes. Red hair, long red hair.
Uh-huh.
Half the town.
Speak for yourself, Kane. Long red
Probably
hair.
one of my cousins.
This Miskatonic's an all-male university, correct? And that's
We
a
have-
co-ed institution.
I will
Did
say.
Asenath Whately go there? I don't think it's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all male.
I'm going to say
there are
that
women
it's
here.
unisex right now. It's 1929. So
There's just not as many women interested in some of the things at the university.
Well, if one of the nurses is a redhead, then we have maybe he's experimenting on his staff.
Oh, what? He's not. Is he experimenting on students? That
Well,
would
that's
be.
why I asked if it was a female participant.
Is it a long red hair?
I believe that's what we said. Here in the late 1920s.
yeah, it should be 1929. My apologies.
Okay. Well, let's go over to the other building. I think we've gone over this fairly thoroughly. This room. No,
Is his office
everything
have a
seems
safe
in
in it?
order.
His office?
Huh?
Vacant?
Does it have
Or
a
does
safe?
it have a safe?
Oh, I would say no.
Okay. And because I'm me, I'm going to look under the carpet and make sure there's not a trapdoor or a significant piece of paper or
No, nothing like that.
nothing like that.
Hey, be careful with that carpet. It's been here for a long time. He was very proud of that carpet. He'd be nice to it.
It really brought the room together.
Really
It does.
tied the room together. That's right. That's why he
Speak
liked
Persian?
it so much.
All right, let's see this lab.
Okay,
Right.
follow me. Again,
Last
he
thing on the way
shoots
out.
straight into the corridor.
All right. What are you doing,
Hold
Flo?
on, kid.
I just want to have one, as we're Jazz kind of almost backing out the door. Have a look around the room. Has he got any photos or paintings up on the wall? Things like decoration artwork?
Yeah, I would say so.
I'll just keep it kind of doing a mental kind of note of places that he's got pictures of in case he's decided to run off to somewhere that he's got a picture of in his office.
Yeah, he travels the world quite a lot. So there's pictures of him in London, in Paris, Berlin.
The
Yes.
Wicked City.
You're muted.
Is he alone in these photographs?
Yes.
So who's taking the photograph?
Don't know.
All right. As we're roaming the halls, there's kids everywhere, right? Or there's
Yeah, they're
students.
running to and fro. They don't really pay attention to you all. And eventually you get to the labs where the clinical studies are taking place. You get to the room number, but before you reach the door, you see that there's a nursing student. She's waiting in front of the door. She looks idle. She's just got textbooks open and is studying from them.
In a chair in the hall, or
Yeah, like right outside the door.
she read?
Philip stops dead center when you sees her and just sort of like motions everyone else to go talk to her.
Pardon me, miss. Are you a student or an assistant to Dr. Butterfield?
Yes, I'm a nurse here. Do you know where Professor Butterfield is? Dr. Butterfield is?
That's actually why we're here. We're in fact investigating, trying to find out where he's gone. He seems to have been missing for 3 days.
Well, he was here 3 days ago, and I was assisting him in his study for my clinical. But
We've got permission from the dean and the keys to get into his office. Would you mind assisting us, telling us what? We probably won't understand everything of what we're saying. seeing.
Oh, yes, of course. But it seems like he's moved everything out from this lab somewhere else without telling me or the other nurses.
Oh, that's odd. Well, we'll open up the door and go inside. Tell us what you know. Tell us what you've seen.
Well, we got some patients from Arkham Sanatorium, 4 of them in particular. And you open the door, it's an empty room. Everything's just been cleared out. It's just empty tables, empty chairs. And she has the names of those patients, and she definitely wants to help you out. So the names of these participants are Leo Rosenthal, Susan Heminger, James Norton, and Edgar Collins.
4 of them.
What was the last one? Sorry.
Edgar Collins.
Edgar Collins. So tell me how did you feel about the professor? What kind of person was he?
I knew him to be very studious at the front of his field, and I was looking to learn a lot from him. But once I met him, about a week ago, he was very erratic.
Oh,
Yeah, he insisted that things be done his way, and I would often see him taking home files back to his car.
well, doctors can be that way. Yeah.
Right.
Would you say go ahead.
The professor might have had a breakdown of some kind, and that's why he's hasn't shown up. So that's important information. We didn't get your name, nurse.
It's Nancy. Nancy Barnham.
Nancy Coroner.
I could have sworn one of the mornings there was like blood on his shirt.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Chest area.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't say anything at the time. He knows best.
Do you recall anything that he ever did that seemed a little inappropriate to you?
No, once he was no, he never gave me weird looks or anything, but when he was in doing his research, he was always very one track. Focused, yes, that's the word. So I've just been sitting in front of the lab because I'm still on clinical during this time, and well, I got to get credit somehow.
Yeah.
So how much? Oh, go ahead.
Putting in study time. That's good. Do you can you give us the names of the other nurses that were working with the professor?
Yes. We have Jennifer Diaz and Stephanie Moran.
And did you know them personally?
Yes, they've been in my classes. They're all wondering.
So you've seen them in the last 2 days.
Yes.
All right.
When you look around this room, how much equipment do you think was moved?
Well, we had those weird devices that he would say would help maybe hypnotize them, the participants, to get them into a deeper state where we would record.
Oh, something like a thing on their head and
and it would shine light onto their face.
There were how many of those doohickeys?
4 of them.
There were 1 for each. So would he'd have all 4 patients in at a time?
Usually he would do 1 at a time, just to see how they'd react.
And these are institutionalized persons?
Yes, they're from Arkham Sanatorium. I wasn't told much about them, but 1 definitely had polio.
Huh. So they weren't all because of antisocial behavior?
No.
Who was the polio patient?
He's Edgar Collins.
Interesting.
Right.
Not something I generally consider a psychological problem. Maybe
Perhaps
it's
the doctor felt that it was psychosomatic and
Right. Poor
not
kid.
real.
He's been using, I believe, one of those new iron lungs.
Mm.
Has to use crutches or be wheeled around in a wheelchair.
The other patients, did they seem like they had a reason to be institutionalized?
I would say so. They all had disorders of different kinds. I'm sure the sanatorium has more information since that's where they were taken from.
Yeah, do we know if the patients are back in there? The patients didn't stay here, obviously. They stayed at the sanitarium and were brought over for the experiments.
That's what I assume.
So we should see if they're missing. Did the doctor talk about any other place? A home laboratory, a warehouse?
I know he does have a home laboratory.
Does
Or-
have a home laboratory.
He would go home a lot. I'm assuming that's where he took his paperwork.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll give the room kind of a thorough looking over. There's not much to see, but maybe there's some clue.
Right. There is a mirror on the wall. Who has the lowest luck?
50 here.
We're going for luck.
3d6 times 5.
I have a 60.
Use that either.
I got 65.
All right. Then you can all make a spot hidden roll.
Oh, 1.
There's a hard success. Oh,
Okay.
wow. Okay.
27.
Beat that.
Yes, out of the corner of your eye, Floyd. And this is a 0/1 sand roll. You
Okay.
thought you saw a white horse in the mirror.
Some
Just-
Twin Peaks bullshit going on right here.
Heroin. Yeah.
A white horse in the hallway, standing behind your group. But there, and you turn around, there is nothing in there. But in the mirror, there is a white horse.
I'm remarkably fine with this on a 25, so I'm going to look at it somewhat perplexedly. Turn round, turn back at the mirror. Is it still there?
Yes.
Ah, okay. I'm going to walk towards this mirror and have a look.
All right, it trots off.
I'm going to see if I can pick up this mirror and see if there's anything weird behind it, anything odd about the frame, whether there's the glass is a particular weird thing, because that ain't normal.
No. But yes, you take the mirror off the wall. There's nothing behind that.
Floyd,
It's
are
just
you okay, Floyd?
You know when you see a magic trick done, you know it's a magic trick, but you can't work
Sure.
out how it's done.
Huh?
Yeah, I'll just point at the mirror.
What magic trick?
Probably something we should discuss outside.
right. Well, do you need any other help? Nancy says.
No, Nancy, I think that's it.
If you
if we need to, I was just gonna say, if we need to speak to you later, is that okay?
Yeah, sure. I'm over in the west one.
Okay. So we can just call the doorman, the matron will
Yes.
connect us to you. Very good. Are Jennifer and Stephanie in the west as well?
Yes, they are.
Um,
But I already talked to them. They don't know as much as you do.
fair
So,
enough.
gentlemen, should we go to the professor's house or should we go to the asylum and see if there's missing people? Or should we split up?
I think we should definitely. We can see the professor's house after hours, whereas I'm sure the asylum has hours of operation. So that might be a priority. Although we could, one of us could go to the house or two.
Maybe we should stick together. This is kind of weird.
I don't see any time pressure on us at the minute, so it makes sense to keep together.
Mhm.
All right. The asylum then.
Did you know this Nancy girl?
Me?
Philip.
I've seen her around, but we haven't spoken. No, we haven't spoken. No.
Not surprised me.
She wouldn't even have noticed me. I'm too busy in the background doing books and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you didn't know any gossip about her or anything?
No. I heard she doesn't have a boyfriend, but that's it. Okay. It's asylum. Yes, let's go. Brilliant.
Do you think we should call the Nut House and tell them we're on our way, or just drop in unannounced?
Wow. It's a big hospital from what I recall. I think we can just drop in.
Yeah. I feel like if we just show up and start asking the right questions, they'll help.
And we have credentials. Yeah, all right. Into the wagon.
All right, very well. As you get into the car and you drive down the streets of Arkham, you head to the very impressive-looking Arkham Sanatorium. There is a high wall surrounding the place, and despite the fact that it is a sanatorium, patients are milling around in lethargic states. There aren't a lot of straitjackets being used at all. It's very docile, and the place, it smells of antiseptic. And right now, let's say it's 4 p.m. It's almost closing time. But you walk right in. The nurse at the front desk, she looks up and she says, "Hello, how can I help you? You have an existing appointment?"
We haven't had an appointment. We just are coming in to make a couple of inquiries. We're with the Crow Detective Agency.
Oh, okay. Does this have to do with an open police investigation?
Not at this point. Are you familiar with the experiments of Miskatonic Professor Butterfield?
Yes, I am, but I'm not allowed to disclose our patient's information.
Certainly not. Was there a particular liaison here at the institution, the sanatorium, that worked with him?
Yes, that would be with the higher ups.
Well, we know the restrictions on what you're allowed to say, but we have a list of 4 names, patients here. We want to know if they're missing.
Oh, they're not staying here. And then she stops herself.
You anticipated what I was going to say.
Well, you said they're here. They're not. I've said too much.
Right. They were resident, however.
Look, I'm not allowed to speak on this.
Right. And their families are informed that they're off the premises?
Yes. All right, well, let's just say that Miskatonic is taking care of them, from what I've heard. So they're off premises.
You mean Butterfield's taking care of them?
Correct.
Yeah. Do you, I understand that you didn't mean to speak out of turn. You're probably fielding a lot here all day. Do you want to connect us to the person who was working with Butterfield, and we can act like we don't know anything?
Okay. I will get the manager.
Thank you.
When
So
she
sit right
walks
down.
away, I'm like, I didn't. She didn't even give me a chance to say the names of the students. She knew exactly who we were talking about.
Patients, you mean?
My
Yeah.
fault.
Is there anything on her desk? She's walked away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a quick ransack of her little desk area.
All right,
There's
excellent.
sign-in sheets. Are there?
Yeah, there's a check-in sheet, and you can, with a quick look, right? Because you're looking at the check-in. 3 days ago, those 4 participants, patients, they were checked out,
Hmm.
and they have not returned. And there's a
Certainly
note
feels-
saying they went with Dr. Butterfield.
Certainly starts to feel like Dr. Butterfield's been doing some maybe near close to the edge of ethics experiments on his patients. Maybe at his home.
I'm guessing home, but you'd think that college would have had somebody go by there before they called us in.
I'm sure they did. Maybe he didn't answer the door or answer the phone or something's creepy and fishy here.
I meant to ask Nurse Nancy if they seem to be getting any better, but I forgot to. We'll have to call her at the school.
They were signed up 3 days ago. He's been missing for 3 days.
Very good.
Are there any
Okay,
mirrors around?
Are there any mirrors around? No. This
Or any
is-
reflective surfaces?
Yes.
I'm keeping an eye out for anything that shouldn't be there in the reflections.
Okay. Once in a while, I will say you do see the silhouette of a horse, but it could just be your mind playing tricks on you.
Mental note, check myself in here for a while once we've finished up.
Okay. Eventually, a mustached man in a suit, with terrible bags underneath his eyes comes down and he says, yes, you are the private investigators. I'm Henry Miller, manager here.
Dr. Miller, you've been working with Professor Butterfield?
I've talked to him. We've made agreements with the university.
Are you aware that nobody's seen the professor for a few days?
No. What is this about?
About
It's
4 patients that you have that have also been missing for 3 days.
Oh, yeah, he visibly just pales. He loses all color. He takes on a very pallid color.
So I take it the families didn't authorize this walkabout?
I'm gonna have the dean's head.
Yeah, well, the dean's pretty anxious about it. What can you tell? Obviously, there are confidentiality issues involved that we would not ask you to violate, but can you give us a general gloss on the 4 patients in question so we know who we're looking for?
Oh,
You can also consider that we are also under a discretionary contract. So we're not talking either to anybody else, but we need to know what's going on.
okay, so let's move this into my office. Come. And you are moved into the inner sanctum, the administration ward of the sanatorium. His office is quite nice. Very tidy, very orderly. And he sits down, he collects himself, he brushes the sweat off his brow. And he goes over to a filing cabinet, hand picks out the 4 files, and sits down at his desk. All right, well, here we have the information on the patients here. We have Leo Rosenthal. He actually used to be a surgeon until he was stripped of his license by the Massachusetts Department of Public Health. because he messed up some surgeries and he insisted that they weren't messed up, and he exhibited a lot of antisocial behavior, sociopath behavior.
I'm sorry, this is which patient?
Leo Rosenthal.
Okay.
Yes, we have in his file that he is reported to have harmed animals when he was younger. And he failed to adhere to societal norms because he would always do harm to others, but would reason or charm his way out of that, the consequences. We have Susan Eminger.
Sorry, how old is Dr. Rosenthal?
He is in his late 30s.
Oh, okay.
Susan came in because she had an eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, poor pituitary function, obsessed with self-image, self-harm.
When you say self-image, do you mean literal self-image or personality self-image?
Literal. Her form. She is extremely emaciated due to her eating disorder.
And how old is she?
She is 19.
I'm in. Okay.
That's pretty damn young to have that kind of a disorder.
Do you know if she's redheaded?
She is.
Huh.
How did you know? Well,
are any of the other patients redheaded?
No. And he says, you detectives, you're good. All right. Next on our file, we have James Norton, Private James Norton. He fought in the war, was diagnosed with shell shock, went back home and bashed in his family with a trench mace.
Thanks.
Makes sense. So Rosenthal's death, Heminger is famine, Norton is war, and Collins must be pestilence as the polio victim.
Right. Now, he just looks at you for a second.
I'm studying his reaction when I say that.
He just looks confused. No roll required. Like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So Edgar, he's been sick his entire life with polio, and he's been dropped off here in our care ever since.
And would you say that to date, Professor Butterfield's treatments were having any beneficial effect on these four?
Not what I could see until he checked them out 3 days ago.
And the dean knew that he took them out of the facility?
That's what he told me.
That's what the doctor told you. All right.
Now, the dean himself might not have meant any deception, but rather wanted us to have clear heads and not make any presumptions ahead of time.
Yeah, or the doctor didn't actually have the dean's permission.
Right. So this looks bad on everyone's part. So,
well, we have to keep our mouth shut as part of our agreement.
Will any luck at all?
If we talk.
Yeah, with any luck at all, we'll return those four to your care without any further harm being done. We'll certainly, we'll try to keep this as quiet as we can.
All right. And he will give you his business card with his personal number for his office when you have any developments. Right.
Thanks.
Let's keep our name clear, shall we? And he says, anything else, gentlemen?
Nope. Did I get the cat?
All right. Well, it's just about closing time for visiting hours.
Well, we're not visiting the patients. Let's go. If we're leaving, I'm going to say to Floyd on the way out. I said that's pretty damn clever. I didn't even cross my mind that the four patients were the four horsemen.
Well, it just became a bit of a coincidence when we had 4 beds, 4 horsemen, and then when one was very blatantly the image of famine. So I was trying to think, well, polio then matched up immediately with pestilence. Yeah, it all makes sense. So is he maybe looking for embodiments of archetypes?
Yeah, because he picked them specifically for those reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Is he some religious fanatic, some nut that's trying to bring about the apocalypse?
Was there anything overtly religious in his office, like crosses on the wall, religious iconography, churches in the pictures that he had, for instance?
No.
Right, so that's not... If he was a fanatic, there would be more overt signs of that present in his office. So I don't think, unless it's something very, very, very recent, I don't think it's that.
Well, and there's this notion he had that all of humankind is diseased, so he's trying some bigger cure. I'm wondering what it means that the redhead's machine blew up.
Maybe she was hot.
Well, it didn't sound like
Didn't
it.
dig it.
I wonder
So
if there was damage to her in the process.
So shall we go to his house and see what's up?
We certainly should.
I'm wondering if the redhead was harmed by the machine. From what I can think of, he's only got 3 machines now.
I would think so.
There's another thing. Now, that machine looked fairly large.
Yeah, it's pretty bulky.
Yeah. So he couldn't have carried that out by himself. He must have gotten some other students to help him carry all that equipment out.
Sorry, Keeper, was it that bulky?
I would say it was 2 feet by 2 feet. So you could like carry it out
Pick
in
it
a
up.
box.
You would have
It'd
had
be
to have
heavy.
done- Okay, so it wasn't like a big piece of furniture.
No.
I was thinking along similar lines when he said that the whole of his area had been cleaned out. You don't normally have someone do that single-handed, especially if you're having to cart 3 people and all of their ephemera, their clothes, all their possessions out of there. You would have orderlies, or you would have some kind of hired help at the university that would be able to do that. So that's another lead we need to follow up. Someone must have seen something. Someone must have helped him.
And that's something we should have asked Miller too, how the patients were taken out of the facility to the university.
You don't think the professor was bribing the dean or hey, Dean, I need some people I can work on. Can I pay you? And something like that, something highly unethical.
I think the payment structure of university, it's going to be hard for a professor to bribe a dean, more like the other way around.
Unless he's got some source that...
You could have family money.
Or a threat. Blackmail. It's always blackmail.
What part of town is the professor's house in?
Definitely not Riverside. What is it? East side? Yeah. It's an east side.
So he's not in the college district.
No.
I'm tempted to go there and shut off the power mains before we go inside, interrupt the experiment, but that's just...
East side is kind of wealthy, isn't it? Makes sense.
East side is wealthy, yes.
Yeah.
Riverside is not.
Right. Of course, you could just as easily have gotten a warehouse and set up something in the middle of, the wharf district. if you
Well,
want to be private. But
if we don't find
So-
his private experiment at home, we'll be looking at what he rented.
indeed. All right, let's get over there.
Okay.
See strange green light shining out of his windows.
Yeah. So you definitely. So it's around. It's getting late, so I would say it's around like 5:30. You stopping by for dinner?
Yeah, we can go to Maestro's and get something to eat.
Okay. Wonderful. You have a nice dinner. Except the fact that you're usually, what's your favorite order, right? Right, Braden, what's your favorite thing to eat?
Oh, probably a sub,
What kind?
meatball sub.
All right, today they're out of meatballs.
I feel like Maestro's is what it used to be.
Pastrami sandwich.
Oh, they've got that. But your favorite food, they don't have that. All out.
I'll have a pastrami sandwich.
Excellent. And you make your way to East Side. You pull up to Butterfield's home, and you can see that it is completely dark inside. It is a 2-story house, quite luxurious.
Is his car there?
No.
Shit.
And just from the outside, he does have like a gate and all that. He has new locks. Like brand new. They're not weathered, not rusty. Looks like it was bought from the department store the day before.
On the gates. So we can't get into the yard without breaking in.
Correct.
You said 2-story. Are there cellar windows at ground level?
I would say so, yeah.
And they're dark too.
Correct.
And we didn't find, when I was looking for travel documents and things in his office, I didn't see anything like he's rented a warehouse. I didn't see any documentation of anything.
Not in the office.
Not in the office. So we've got to break in and see whether either he's got a hidden inside room where he's got these patients. I mean, just getting the kid with polio around, you're right, he needs assistance or something. He can't have gotten far. So
I'm going to say to Philip, Philip, come here. I want to show you something. I want to explain something to you.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit unethical, but we're not intending to rob the man. We're just intending to find out information. So I'm going to show you how to pick this lock. I'm going to pick the lock.
Beautiful. Let's see it.
And I'm going to break my pick off in the lock. Got a 93.
Okay, I'll just say
that's not how you do it.
God damn it!
all right. That's I will say that's pushing the roll. If you are going to try lock picking,
Can I push it?
whoever wants to roll next is pushing it, and I'm going to say the consequence is maybe a light turns on in a neighbor's house and you'll be spotted.
My skill is not good enough to even warrant a push, so go ahead and knock yourself out.
I've got a 45, so let's see
You're
if I
better than
can
me.
get a 45.
Okay, roll it.
17.
All right, then with the satisfying click, the lock pops off.
This is... And I look over at him and I say, Philip, he says, all those people that you go to school with, all of those people that make you feel a little bit intimidated, they all shit exactly the same way you do. So
Wonderful. All right, and I'll even let that roll ride as you pick the door to Butterfield's Are you going front door, back door?
We'll go through the front door.
That's
Less conspicuous and torchlight only.
okay. So you can see in his home that it is a complete mess. He has a sitting room very close to the front door. In the sitting room is a bookcase that is just fallen on its side. A bunch of books have spilt out. Some of these books are very old. Their pages, they've just been torn out. And when I say old, I'm saying that these pages are just like yellow from exposure to the sun. And the way that the pages are placed on the floor makes your head spin. Give me a sanity roll. 0/1d6.
One hell of a pattern.
It is a pattern.
Oh, 98.
I got 83. Failed. What did you say? 1d6?
Guess I'm rolling a
22.
d6.
It is a 1d6 on a failure.
Appropriate color pages as well.
Just one.
I rolled a 5.
3.
Okay, something doesn't sit right about these patterns of these yellowed pages. They seem to swirl and shimmer and squirm, Philip. Give me an intelligence roll.
This is not right. That's not the. That's surely not. That's not okay. Oh dear! I passed my intelligence roll by 2 points.
Oh, beautiful.
You've been
All
looking
right.
into the wrong books at the Miskatonic.
Give me a d10.
1.
Tom, do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah, that's faint.
Okay, so
Faint for
you
1d10.
You look at this. The world goes black.
And he's down.
Can I try to grab him before he smacks his head?
Yeah, of course. Give me a dex roll to see if you're fast enough.
Sorry, kid.
Clunk.
Check.
All right.
Set him there on the couch.
I want you to replace your meaningful location with the shore of Holly.
The shore of Holly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
H-A-L-I, not H-O-double-L.
Shore of Holly is there.
Excellent.
And I'll resume being passed out.
And how are the rest of you going to react? Also, take a damage from hitting your head against a wood desk.
I think we kind of expected him. He's a bit nervous, so a lot of excitement coming into the house, breaking in.
Someone needs to get that kid laid or on drugs.
I've almost offered him my flask 3 times. I don't know.
I'm gonna step into what I perceive to be the kitchen and get a dish.
Yeah, everything's a
towel and
mess.
get it wet.
Like the drawers have been torn out. One of the mirrors in the sitting room has just been smashed. You think you see a horse, Floyd, but could be just you.
Boys, somebody's ransacked this place.
I'm wondering if he lost control of his crazy surgeon, or the private. He might have one of his patients go berserk. You guys looked at the pages on the floor like there was something going on. Do you want to explain what?
I don't know. Felt a little odd for a minute there. Here, I got a wet dish towel. I'm gonna put it on Philip's face.
And Philip, when that happens, you come to.
You all right, Phil?
Did we get him? What happened?
Just rest there for a minute.
Okay.
Got a little lightheaded.
You cannot remember your uncle's dairy farm.
Philip, have you ever had brandy?
Oh, my mother says it's a sinful drink, so I don't partake in the tipple.
Yeah, just have a little something to firm yourself up.
Make you a man.
That's the first circle of hell right there.
Folks, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to see if I can find anything telling. Maybe there's a basement. Hopefully he's got all 4 patients tied up down there and we can just release them right now.
Why
Go
are you going
home.
upstairs to find a basement?
It's usually a little door under the stairs.
Or off the kitchen, depending.
Yeah, all right. So you're heading upstairs, Braden. What about Philip, Dan, and Floyd?
I'm looking for his desk. I want to see if he's rented a place. I want to see if he's got patient notes,
Mm-hmm.
etc.
Okay. About Floyd and Philip?
We say also in the process we kind of kick those pages around so that they're not.
Oh, that's fine.
That's what I was going to do, was tidy up the bookcase. And also try to work out why it was pulled over and why the pages fell in that particular pattern.
Yeah, it looks like the pages were ripped out. And on top of that, record how much sanity you lost from seeing that particular symbol, because you can lose up to 6.
Did you say it was 1 or 1d6?
0 or 1d6.
Okay, so I'm still at 0. Good.
So I would like to, as I come to and gather my senses, knowing that the good professor was interested in Freud and the concept of ego death, I want to look for his Freudian books and try and find where those resources are.
Yeah, all right. So you're looking for his Freud books, and well, that's the one that's exactly been torn out and arranged in the symbol.
One hell of a way to make a critique about another writer.
It's a damn shame.
Were there any, what, the pages torn out, did they come from one chapter? Are they about anything? Or is it just random pages?
Oh, they're about the ego, the id and ego and the superego. But the pages, they shouldn't be that old, considering that it's only been 2 or 3 years since that theory came out.
Are the pages in the rest of the book yellow like that?
No.
It's almost like they've been sun bleached.
Or stained
Correct.
with something?
Sun bleached is more correct. And for that revelation, I'll roll. It'll cost you some sand. 0/1 on a sand roll.
The bleach. So 1.
Quit again.
Very well.
0.
I still think he ran off with a third nurse, apparently.
I'm upstairs. I can't see.
All right, so Brayden, you're heading upstairs. You are greeted by a trail of dried blood upstairs.
Uh-oh.
It leads
Dried blood, boys.
It leads into or out of the bathroom.
Okay.
And in the bathroom, you see a scalpel with dried blood on it and what looks like to be thread, a spool of thread.
Unraveled or just a spool of thread?
Some of it has been used.
What color is it?
Black.
It's black thread. Does it look like the person who cut himself was standing in front of the mirror when he did it?
Is there a forensics or anything like that? Because I'll take a spot hidden if there isn't. I know there is.
I don't think I have forensics, so the spot hidden. 17 out of 65, so that is a hard.
Okay, so
I
with
could actually spend 4 and make it an extreme.
okay. No, there was no one in front of. So you see some splatter on the walls. So that means there's no one in front of the person doing an operation. It looks like the operation was done by the person.
Oh, so it looks like there were 2 people in here?
No, 1. So whoever cut themselves, the splatter marks, they show that they did it to themselves.
Right. Can I see from the stains on the floor where they were standing when they did it?
Right in front of the mirror.
Okay, that's what I was asking. So,
Yep.
Is there a razor here somewhere?
There is a scalpel,
There's a scalpel.
which is covered in dried
Um,
blood.
and a thing of thread. There's a thread thing sitting on the
Sitting on a
sink.
sink, yeah.
Strangest thread for. Um,
Meanwhile, I'll jump to Dan as he is looking for the study. And the study is also quite a mess. It looks like a home where there was a lot of wealth, a lot of income, but that all has just been ravished by this uncontrollable violence. And are you looking anywhere in particular?
I mean, I'm going to start with his personal desk for sure.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You find a note,
Mm-hmm.
and I will take another spot hidden roll for some extra info.
That is a regular success. I could
Okay.
spend 6 to make it extra hard.
No need. So you find more raving about how he found a cure. You find bits of clockwork and parts, cogs, gears, things that belong in a projector. And here is the note.
All right. A couple of weeks ago, 3/4/29. It must be him. His face was as white as his coat was black. I only caught a glance of his slender form, but it must be him. The organist I saw in Paris along the Rue de Rennes is here in Arkham. So the trip abroad, 2 days later, the 6th, I saw that man again yesterday. He grows more and more bold. I will never forget the look on his face. It was a face of pure contempt. Must change my locks. 3 more days on the 9th. Again, he's everywhere. His music calls to me. 3/13, the day before he went missing. I was wrong. He gave me a gift. It's inside of me now. Yeah, all right. Professor is lost his marbles. Inside of me. Musician he thought he saw an organist he thought he saw in Paris. And so I guess I'll fold that neatly and put it inside my jacket pocket.
Okay.
No luck in terms of anything like a rental warehouse in downtown?
I was getting to that. You do find a agreement for a rental of a mill that has been abandoned and is available. And that is over at Riverside.
That's a lot of space. Why would he need that much space for 4 or maybe 3 patients? All right. I'll leave that document and just take the address down.
All right, you write down the address.
And when did he rent that?
I would say that would be 3 days ago.
Okay.
Well, finalized 3 days ago.
Right. Oh boy. All right, I'm going to keep poking around in the studio and studying.
Right. What about Floyd or Philip?
Look over to Philip first because I know what I want to do.
Yeah, you're examining Philip.
I can't believe they would destroy such important philosophical works. So this is, I can't believe it. I'm incredulous at the fact that this has been torn apart and destroyed. So I would like to go to the kitchen and just get myself a glass of water to try and just get my head back into shape, because I'm floored that they would do this.
Okay.
While he's in the kitchen, I want to do something along the lines of crime scene investigation. I want to try and piece together the events that took place in this room that led to that bookcase being knocked over. Was it deliberately that he pulled it, he or she, whoever, pulled it away from the wall? Did something else happen in here? I want to try and get an idea of sequence of events.
Okay. So you can see that as you're imagining it in your mind, I'll take just a general intelligence roll. As you're trying to construct and recreate the process of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Judging by your roll, we'll see what happens.
Well, 32 is under half.
Oh, so that's a heart.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So as you close your eyes and you try to take in the scene, you notice that someone was really angry, and you could tell that they just went to town on the walls, on the furniture, just pure, unbridled rage.
Okay.
And it's just destruction for the sake of destruction.
Four Horsemen meets one of the 7 deadly sins.
Right. But there is no rhyme or reason to any of this. It'd have to be a larger person of a larger build to have done this.
We didn't see any sign of any breakout. I mean, the door was locked.
Right.
All the windows, I presume, are all still intact.
Yes.
There must be a point where that path of destruction just stops then.
Yes.
Where is that point?
Well, it looks like it's leading to the basement.
Guess where I'm going.
Okay. So, as you head to the basement, you open the door, flick on the switch, and you can see discarded at the bottom of the stairs is an empty syringe. Further down in the basement, there are 4 cots that have been set up, but there is no sign of anything, any living person.
Gotcha. Because there's no way I'm going down into a basement if there's anywhere that someone can stand around a corner and hit me with a syringe. Or basically, I'm looking from afar without going down into a dangerous territory.
Yeah. Yeah, so
my shoulder saying, "Yeah, we've got where they were being kept."
I'll join you as I hear you going towards the basement. Glass of water still in hand, just sipping away. That stuff from the flask was very unpleasant. I didn't like it very much.
Yeah, fun enough is one of those things that your taste bud's going to get used to it over time.
I imagine being able to do that, but you're stronger men than me. I do feel more confident though, weirdly.
Warms you up too on a cold day.
Would you like to go into the basement?
Like is a strong word.
Well, the others are upstairs, and I don't think there's anything else on this floor. If we go together, then if something does that does happen, then the other one can at least shout for help or something.
Well, that's true. After you.
Okay. Hand in the left pocket. Gonna walk down the stairs very slowly.
And you walk down the stairs, and we'll cut to Brayden as he's upstairs. You have just finished doing your analysis of the bathroom.
Yeah. Move on to the bedroom.
Okay. So the bedroom has been tossed as well. And there's a lot of signs of disturbed sleep. It's not as bad as the damage downstairs, but a lot of tossing and turning. There are newspapers that have been used to keep out the light.
Hmm.
Cover up the
Interesting.
windows. and those have turned sour yellow.
Does it look like the professor took his suitcases and clothing with him, or is that all still in the room?
Yes, they're gone. But looking at what's remaining, not enough for like a trip or to get away for an extended period of time.
Just for a few days.
Yes.
I'll do a thorough look around. I might pull. How do you mean the newspapers are to block the light? Is it he doesn't have curtains or a thingy?
Oh, he's got curtains, but they don't cover the window like 100%. Some of the light still gets through. So he's slapped on newspaper or paper to block out every bit of light or every bit of vision.
All right. So if I don't really see anything, as I say, should I do a spot hidden or just?
No, there's nothing.
I don't find anything. All right. Are there any other rooms up here?
Nothing of interest, I will say.
So I'll go back downstairs. I want to, as I'm going back downstairs, I want to see if I can follow the trail of blood.
Right. So it looks like it comes out of the bathroom and then goes down the stairs and then is done.
And then there's not enough dripping.
Yeah.
Okay. So I look around to see where anybody is. Is anybody still on the first floor?
Dan is combing through the office downstairs.
Okay.
But it looks like Philip has gone into the basement. Floyd, you're waiting at the top of the stairs, or you're also going into the basement?
I'll go down about maybe 3 or 4 steps behind him.
Very well.
That when someone jumps him, I can then, in theory, jump the person that's jumped him.
Wonderful. So, Philip, you make your way down each step, and each step creaks and echoes, and it's cold. It's cold in this basement. There's 4 cots that have been set up, but no sign of anyone. There is like a workbench or a workshop of sorts where there is machinery. And it looks like to be a film reel.
Is the basement well lit, or do I need to turn a light on as I go down?
Floyd's already turned on the light, but it's dim at best.
Very good. Yeah, it looks empty. And then I'll walk over to the film reel and I'll hold it up to the light and try and see what it is.
Okay. Yeah, you see that same symbol that was formed by the paper. So roll another step.
I can only lose an extra 1. So.
Yeah.
I rolled a 5, so we're okay.
All right, you're okay. But it makes you feel a little queasy. But you're seeing along this film reel, it's like, you know how each piece is a frame? Each section of film is a word. And it is structured so that you think it is dialogue being written, interspersed with more of these symbols. But it definitely makes you feel sick to the stomach.
I think they were sleeping here.
Well, yeah, the cots kind of give that away.
I'm going to suddenly call out and say, everybody stay right where you are. I come to the top of the stairs going down into the basement. I'm saying, listen, boys, when I was upstairs looking in the bathroom, I found a spool of black thread. And I couldn't for the life of me think of what you might use a spool of black thread for.
Surgical
booby
thread?
traps, boys. Booby traps, boys. There could be booby traps somewhere around the room. Watch out for black thread strung across your path.
Did you touch it, Kane?
Oh yeah, I got it right here.
Is it waxy?
I don't know. I'll toss it over to you, Dan.
Is it
You
suture?
have been in the war, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
So you know the medics use this type of thread to stitch people up.
Yeah, this is surgical thread. Somebody had a boo-boo and they sewed it up themselves.
Oh, well, there was blood upstairs.
Could be the crazy surgeon, could be the professor. How much blood?
Oh, there was stains on either side of the sink. I think somebody cut themselves. There was what you call those knives doctors use, a scalpel. And there was a surgical thread. So maybe you're right. Maybe he sewed himself up. I wouldn't have thought of that.
All right, well, here, have a look at this crazy note he left. It says he was given a gift and it's inside him now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Did he sew something up inside himself?
I mean,
False alarm on the thread, boys. Probably no booby traps.
You walk over and then
Yeah, the bomb goes off.
yeah, so how's the cellar?
Cold.
Right.
There's some weird film here with the symbol from before.
What symbol?
The way the pages were arranged.
It's a mess on the floor.
Wait, didn't the doctor say something about him using words or language or?
Well, he was projecting something onto people's faces, right? So the film is good. We want to take that. Does it look like he shot it himself, or is it stitched together? We'll just bring it up. Is the cellar clean?
Yes.
There's a broken syringe here and some cots, and then the workbench.
Look around, see if you see a small bottle, something that had the contents of the syringe in it.
Yeah, wrap it
I
up
will
in a
look for a
handkerchief and
small
take
bottle.
it. Maybe we can get it tested. Don't cut yourself. Maybe you should take the syringe, Floyd. The kid's gonna put it in his left pocket, and
Not my left pocket. My left pocket stays the way it is.
I'll pick it up with a hanky and just sniff or the aroma around the needle to see if there is any residue, if there is any aroma from it.
Okay. Do you have any medicine?
I have 1%.
All right. I mean, you're welcome to roll.
I got a 1 on the right dice, but the 8 on the front of it don't.
Oh. All right. Well, it's some kind
You
of.
want to push it?
You know what?
No. I will say you are not able to push this roll. So just
Push it
giving
into me.
you-
I'm not doing that.
yeah. So just giving you this information, it's the fact that yes, it looks medical grade. It smells like it belongs in a hospital.
So it doesn't smell like a narcotic. It doesn't smell like not the fun kind of drug.
No.
Mhm.
More like a sedative.
Some medical thing.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the Miller at the Nut House owes us a favor, so we can get him to analyze it if we need to know. I think he's really eager to keep our mouths shut. So, guys, we've got a warehouse in Riverside. He just rented it as he started to go completely batshit. So I think we know where the new cots are. And the 3 machines, unless he managed to build a 4th to replace the one that burnt out.
So do you think, based on what we've seen so far, that he's using these machines to flash something in their faces? One of the doctors, didn't he say something about hypnotism? Maybe one of his patients completely popped his gasket and did all of this.
Yeah, I think he's trying to induce ego death, the abandonment of your entire self
So
image, I guess.
So if that happens, I mean, what do you know about it, Philip? Do you, if somebody experiences, what did you say, ego death?
It's ego death.
they
You
flip
abandon you abandon basically how you used to be. So if these people are the horsemen of the apocalypse, as he seems to think they are, then they would go from this destructive force maybe and become, a force for good. Maybe the Doctor gives up his malpractice tendencies and becomes a fantastic surgeon again, or or the anorexic girl, maybe she forgets that she's skinny and she thinks that she's beautiful and she starts eating properly again. But that has the flip side of maybe the transcendent quality of ego death. Maybe it stops holding them back and they go even further into this
Psychopath goes flip out, and
potentially.
except we don't see him
Yes.
murdering everybody, do we? We see him. What would ego death to do to the polio kid?
Maybe he forgets he's sick or believes he can get better. I don't know. This is where I sneakily Google the placebo effect to see if I would know it's a thing.
Yeah,
There must be some kind of psychological impact of the suffering of disease like that. It must get you down. It must surely knock a blow to your confidence. So maybe it would reverse that. Maybe they would suddenly become a lot more of a confident individual that thinks they can suddenly do certain things. They weren't being held back by the debilitating illness anymore.
Yeah.
So if I was going to pick two candidates for
1800s.
flipping out, I'd pick either the psychopath or the private who had shell shock.
Yeah.
I'd go with the soldier.
Yeah. Sounded like he was a bigger gentleman than the surgeon as well, and this damage is substantial. And then there's the question, so Butterfield thinks he's seeing some skinny, pale man in town that was playing an organ when he was in Paris. And he starts seeing him everywhere. It sounds like, the physician heal thyself business. He's lost it, losing his marbles. And then he says, I was wrong. He had a gift for me. It's inside me now. So one theory is that he took something that somebody gave him and he cut himself open and put it in him and sewed it up. Another possibility is that the psychosurgeon stabbed him and he managed to get away and sew himself up in front of the mirror so he can see what he's doing. Or
he cut himself open thinking that thing was already inside him and tried to rip it out.
Although he thought
in any case, you think we have established that the blood upstairs and in the hallway is probably Butterfield.
That's my guess. I don't think they let the surgeon out of the hospital with surgical materials. And it seems like a healing situation with the surgical thread, not an assault.
I'm not sure, though, that even a psychologist would have any reason to have a scalpel in his home. They don't do surgery. They just prescribe drugs.
They don't take mental patients home and set them up in cots in a cold basement either. He was obviously an experimental. What did you say earlier? He was a very theoretical psychologist.
Yeah, he would do intervention-based trials, but a lot of his work was more reviewing contemporary work and applying and stress testing them. He would be very intent on the peer review process and making sure that people's interventions actually worked rather than inventing his own interventions for the most part. That's what a lot of us grad students actually do a lot, is we do the novel interventions and then he stress tests them and then we stress test other people's, and it all forms this really well-rounded evidence base for our research.
Phil, what are you studying in school?
My study is more observational of how people have different grounding objects that keep them
Oh yes, yeah, you
contained.
said that before.
Um,
You know,
so
I don't know. I think this detective work kind of agrees with you. You were a really nervous little guy 3 hours ago, and now you seem to have pulled yourself together. That's quite
you
an
guys haven't
observation.
been mean to me, so yeah.
It's because he's resigned himself to the fact he's going to the first circle of hell after touching his first few drops of liquor.
Yeah, maybe the liquor's a good thing.
Do you have a
I-
grounding object in your pocket, by the way, Phil?
Maybe.
Yeah.
As long as that's all it is.
Yeah.
Sort of like pulls this out of his pocket. I've had him since I was a kid.
Oh.
He helps. And he stuffs it back in.
Sure, cool.
Great. You know, you could get one of those with a flask inside it and kill two.
Be a great way to hide it. No one will ever think about looking up the teddy bear's ass.
Get the teddy bear and it sounds wet inside. You might get caught.
Teddy
So,
bear.
do we want to get over to the warehouse before the patient
to the-
doctor, or vice versa?
Yeah, we should head to the
Yeah.
the mill.
That's
we
going to
wanna-
be dark by the time we get there, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be night. So you could either, head to bed or head over to the
Oh.
mill.
No,
I'm not
there's-
tired.
the only question is whether we want to swing by the office for a couple of shotguns, I think.
I want to get my
Yeah,
gun
I-
out. Yes.
I think there may be some
Guns?
urgency to find these patients that the doctor's doing stuff to.
Yeah.
They're these wonderful tools that go bang when you pull a trigger. You know,
I know what they are. How do I know what they are? My point being, I didn't realize we were going to be getting violent. Like, are we gonna be hurting Professor
Just for our protection. Just for our protection.
There's
No
a
need to.
violence has already begun. We just want to make sure that we can control the direction of the violence.
And they're
Nobody
also
wants to shoot anybody.
Yeah, they're a great way to call for help, to make to bring attention to you, to also make someone who's potentially somewhat on edge maybe shut the hell up and listen.
They're a good way to get a locked door open. They're very handy.
Universal lockpick, almost as good as a sledgehammer.
If we pull our guns, you stay behind us.
I can do that. Yep, I can do that. Mhm.
All right, office, shotguns, and then Riverside.
Yeah, sounds good. After this break. All right, so our investigators and grad student are going to head over to Crow Investigations office and arm up.
Phil,
Yep.
we also have this baseball bat. Would you feel comfortable carrying that?
Phil
to-
also has the reel clutched in his hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can, but I have the reel with me. I don't know if I'll be able to hold both.
Right,
effectively.
because you've only got one free hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll throw it in the car in case you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a look at the reel while Kane drives us over to Riverside.
All right, so you're gonna hold it up to the light or shine a flashlight in.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use a flashlight.
All right, well, Sam.
What's that you say? Another success. I
All right,
can't.
it's 0. But are you reading the words?
Yeah.
Some kind of song. Along the shore, the cloud waves break. The twin suns sink behind the lake. The shadows lengthen in Carcosa.
There's a typo here for Carcassonne. That's all I
The
can
French
figure.
place, the place in France.
Yeah.
Well, he was in Europe.
Yeah. Huh. So I wonder if this is a poem. Kind of reads like a poem. Twin
Right.
Suns. Maybe it's code.
No, I bet somebody at Miskatonic would know what it is.
Yeah. We'll get
Yes.
Philip to copy it out and see if somebody in the literature department can tell us.
Yeah,
Well,
and it definitely keeps going. So I would say you're even maybe very intrigued by it. Your eyes just keep reading.
hmm.
Yeah. Eventually you read the whole song, and there is a feeling of just longing deep in your chest.
Songs that the
Go on.
hyacinths shall sing where flap the tatters of the king must die unheard in dim Carcosa. It's like a couple of words and then some image symbol and then a couple of words. Are the words repeated long enough for somebody to read if they were seeing this in a film?
So if it was flashed on screen like over and over again, you'd catch some of the words. There's actually a technique where you have words flashed in the same location on the screen, and that actually enables you to read faster.
Uh-huh.
So subliminal.
Yes.
Right.
And obviously the sign is interspersed throughout each reel.
Well,
How big is the reel?
It is meant to be portable and to fit into the projector strap. So maybe
Maybe
about
20.
a foot.
Hand size.
Yeah, I would say so.
20
How
odd
long
frames
do
a
you-
minute, maybe 3 minutes, 4.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Is the end of this torn or is it cut neatly?
It's cut meticulously,
Uh,
painstakingly.
cut it.
Right. So eventually you make your way past downtown Arkham and head over to Riverside, where it is foreboding and dark. This is a rough area. Braden would know.
Yep.
And eventually
So-
you pull up to the abandoned mill.
Was it windowed?
It is windowed,
Where they
and
live?
the windows are broken. There's a dim light inside, and there are vines that are growing along the sides of the wall. And these vines, they make that symbol. So roll sand again.
What
fine,
kind of
this
mill is it?
It used to be a textile mill.
Okay.
I failed,
So-
but I can only lose one more sanity, so I
Yeah,
won't
then you lose
roll
one.
the die.
Yeah, we lost one.
What do you mean you can only use one more sanity? I don't have
Because you can only lose
There's
up
a
to
maximum of
6.
6 sanity, and I
Yeah.
lost 5 in the first
It's a
go.
D6. So you lost 5 last time, so you can only lose one more from this source.
With my starting sanity of only 45, I have yet to fail.
You
Alright,
will
Rob.
be the sanest of them all.
So it seems. But I'm pretty perplexed because the vines look like this thing, right?
Correct.
He's only had the place for a few days. So how
Yeah.
do you train vines? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe he's been obsessed with this textile mill and he made this squiggle based on these vines.
If he did frame them, there is no evidence. It's like they grew that way.
Yeah, probably started with the vines. That because it doesn't look like anything else.
So it shouldn't be too hard to get
Question
in.
marks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we drive, let's do go around the block, please, Kane. And I want to look at all the angles. It's probably got a few doors. Mills are big.
Correct.
Well, with all the broken out windows, the doors are probably broken out too. Kids probably playing there.
There's still a rent in the place. I just want to figure out where we can go in with the best angle for surprise. You know, if one wall is darker than the other in the windows, then we know that we can get
Around the
inside
back
before
side.
the-
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. You're all sticking together?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll park the car. We'll get out.
Sounds good.
Shotgun
Let's go
in trench
quietly.
coat for me. You know, no reason to announce it.
hand
I'll
cannon
stick
in
with my
holster.
handguns because I'm better at shooting them than rifle or shotgun. Yeah, and we'll
Okay.
cross the pavement up to the side of the warehouse.
All right. The glass crunches underneath your feet. And you make your way to the door.
Is it locked?
Doesn't look like it.
Mhm.
But it'll probably be squeaky.
And are you trying to sneak?
Yeah.
All right. With a penalty die due to the glass.
02.
Okay.
Oh, a penalty die. I have to do the
Yeah.
other.
Oh, right.
82. Yeah. Crunch.
Oh, I rolled a 20 and a 100.
I thought my 80 was bad. Yeah.
I
It was
rolled
probably
95.
stuff to trip over in the dark.
Okay. So in that case, yeah, you're all making your way, what you think to be silently, in front of this once proud building now in a state of despair. And you get to the door when it just opens up, and there's a very emaciated redhead, and she smiles at you and she says, "Welcome."
Thanks, Susan.
Yes. But I go by Casilda now. I'm cured, you see.
Oh,
I'm cured. I love myself.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm beautiful.
So the professor's work is successful.
That's right.
So you're going to leave the hospital?
Oh, yes. In time.
Do you want to come out of the building and tell us about it?
But the ball is inside.
What
Ball.
Masquerade ball.
Oh, we didn't bring costumes.
That's
What
okay.
is she wearing?
She's wearing regular street clothes, like regular clothing.
Do we hear any kind of music or anything?
No.
Does she look well?
She looks like she's been eating.
Uh-huh.
Is the Dr. Butterfield at the ball?
Yes, he is. He's inside.
Why don't you take us to him?
Right this way.
All right. I've pulled my gun out into my hand. I'm not like going like this, but I've got it ready to go.
How did she open? Why was she at the door? I'm just going to have a little, pardon me. Happy St. Patty's Day.
She heard us. Oh, Jesus, I'm supposed to be at the at the pub, at the speakeasy.
Okay, you stay behind me. You want to take up the rear, Floyd, or?
Yeah, let's make sure no one tries to get crashed from behind.
Keep Philip next to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Should we call you Miss Heminger or Susan? Or I'm sorry, your name is
Casilda. Casilda would be fine.
Casilda. Is that Italian?
No, it is not. And she just looks at you and smiles. Floyd, you said you were looking from behind?
Oh, yes.
Out of the shadows, a large man, unarmed. Looks like he's got a lot of scars, military type. He comes out of the shadows and he just nods at you and he smiles.
Evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the ball, he says in a baritone voice.
So, Casilda, where's your costume? You said it was a map.
It will be ready quite soon.
Do you have costumes for us?
Everyone has their own style, Mr.
I'm Gascoigne, Dan Gascoigne.
Yes, and you have yours and we have ours.
How many are you expecting at the ball?
All who were invited, of course.
Well, please lead on.
Yeah.
Right this way. And you're passing all these like abandoned mill machines, and there's aisles and aisles of them. And eventually you're hearing the sound of a projector going.
Perhaps it's a good idea, boys, if we don't look at whatever's being projected.
The thing in the car, right? That I looked at in the car.
Well, who knows? But it might hypnotize you.
I don't think that's a real thing.
Well, Professor Butterfield is right this way.
Thanks, Casilda.
And
He's
she's
got
going
them
to
all
continue to walk.
crazy. He's imposed some sort of personality switch on them with his mesmerism.
He's been injecting them, and they started out crazy.
That too.
Okay. And in the distance, you can hear an organ music.
Organ player.
When you say organ, are we talking church organ or hand organ, accordion style organ?
Church organ.
That was a bit more difficult to move in here, I bet.
Now you have to build those things into the structure of the building,
That's correct.
unless it's something small.
Maybe it's a record player. Who knows?
What's the tune like? Is it churchy? Is it fancy?
There's a bit of dissonance to it. It's not pleasant.
Whoever's playing it's not playing it very well.
Or it's one of the modern composers like Stravinsky. I can't stand the stuff. Could be an old Italian any day.
All right.
Is it cold in here?
Quite a bit, with the windows being broken and no insulation.
Yeah.
It smells like rats and rotting fabric.
That's correct.
And is she leading us? I mean, is it big open rooms? Is there
It is a big open room.
It's basically one big open room.
Yes.
And is there some light?
I would say there's some candles that have been set up.
It's such a safe thing inside of a textile mill.
I'm sure all this stuff is too rotten to burn, too dank.
True. So she continues down one of the aisles between the large textile machines until the sound of that projector gets a little closer.
Keep an eye out to make sure there's no one lingering in one of these aisles, like tall, dark, and gruesome behind us.
Yes, that would be Private Norton.
Mm-hmm.
But he seems like a gentle giant. Yeah, he's just following you, but he has no weapon.
He is a weapon. That's the whole thing.
You saw what it did to that house.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when you see what you assume to be the professor. He is in a circle with the words around him: deception, war, famine, and pestilence. And he has this machine on, and he is sitting almost in a meditative state.
Is it pointed at the wall or is it pointed into his face?
It's pointing into him.
Into him, yeah. Professor, we found you. Professor?
He does not.
I'll walk up to him.
Okay.
Professor, it's me. It's Phil. You gotta come back to work. Everyone's so worried about you. And I'll put a hand on his shoulder.
Okay. And when you do that, he looks towards you, towards that touch, and he says, "Welcome to the ball." The machine on his head, the front of it opens up, and there is a vortex that sucks and sucks you all in.
What?
Threw the mask into his head.
I
Yes.
should have taken the chance to shoot that thing when I could.
All right, roll sanity.
Oddly enough, I
97.
got
That's my
07.
second 000 in a row.
000. All right.
57.
All right, that's an 8. So it's a
D8.
D8
Is it a T8?
on a failure. A 1 on a success.
There we go.
So you're seeing that symbol flash throughout your eyes. You're seeing the four
I see.
horsemen galloping down a battlefield, and they are led by a fifth, one on a golden horse, one with tattered robes, one with a mask.
Given that we're inside the professor's head, do I still need to roll intelligence for my 8-point loss?
I would say so. There's a reason. You can reason it away with enough.
I lost 6, but I did also pass my intelligence.
Okay.
So
So sanity is going to look.
4.
So sanity is going to work a little differently now. We won't have to worry about bouts of madnesses. So just deduct the total.
Okay.
Yes. And as you're just getting swirled into this guy's head, your vision begins to transpose onto one of the riders of the horses, following this kingly figure into oblivion, and until it all goes white, and you are awoken to the sound of organ music. You are in a square room. It's not quite square, it's a little rounded. There is organ music playing beyond a chained door, and there is a statue in the center of the room. A statue that looks like a man in a robe with a mask. In the room itself are 4 paintings on each wall.
I'll look at one of the paintings.
It looks like a trench from World War I. The title of the painting is James Norton.
Check the other paintings.
Yep. There is a desert. One that is titled Susan Eminger. There is a prison. A prison that is titled Edgar Collins, and what looks like to be a neighborhood. Just a standard suburban neighborhood named Leo Rosenthal.
Psychopath.
Outside there are high windows. And you're seeing the black stars in the sky. And the skyline that is composed of black spires.
Walk around and look at the statue.
The statue turns to you and speaks.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, it says to you, I am the Phantom of Truth. It sounds like Butterfield. Vanquish deception, cure the sick, feed the famished, and end the violence. That is how you progress.
Professor Butterfield, what is the drug you're using?
There is no answer.
To vanquish the silent? What? I'm so confused. Professor, this is... What?
We're going to need some paintbrushes for this.
So mechanically, I've lost over a fifth of my starting sanity.
Okay.
This day.
Have you lost 10?
I have lost 9 in total now.
Okay, let me know when you lose 10.
I've lost 8 from the.
Yeah, like
Oh,
you're
I'm sorry,
fine. You're not getting into a bout of
9
madness
actually.
here. 5. All right.
Um,
Well, let me know when you reach 10 or 20 or 30.
that's it.
Okay.
Well, if I've reached 30, then I've only got the 5 left to go. So,
Understood.
Do I
Race to zero.
We're playing with alternative rules.
do I still have my gun?
Yes.
I'm going to shoot at the statue's face.
Okay. Yeah, you blast the statue, and it's like there was nothing underneath the robes at all as it just flutters to the ground.
I'll put my foot on the ropes and move him around like
Nothing
Darth
underneath.
Vader.
He has become a force more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
It's a reasonable call, Kane. I'm going to start with the artwork. Shotgun. Random. I guess I'll take the soldier first.
All right, you're going to shoot the artwork?
Yeah.
All right. So you're expecting to see bullet holes from all the buckshot, but the bullets go into the painting.
What? I'm gonna walk up to the field. I'm gonna put my hand up against the field painting.
The desert?
The desert, yeah.
Yeah, your hand goes through. It's like you can just go in.
This is it's a curtain. It's a curtain. It's a curtain. Everything's okay. I'm just gonna real quick, and I'm gonna poke my head through and sort of like try and open the curtain.
I think the term you're looking for is dream. Because this can't be real.
Or we've been hypnotized by his flashy lights.
No, I think he's etherized us. I think he had some kind of spray or whatever.
But it doesn't seem dreamlike.
Well, for one thing, we're talking to each other. So,
Might be lucid
Professor,
dreaming, half awake.
we did not authorize this treatment. This is unethical. You're a missing person. Let us the fuck out of here.
The organ music continues to play, and it's getting to you.
I poke my head through the desert painting. I want to see what's on the other side.
It's a desert. Give me a spot hit. It feels like the desert. It feels hot.
7. That's an extreme success.
Okay, so 1, it's not a traditional desert. It looks like a lake bed that's been dried up.
Raley.
And 2,
Okay.
you think you see some kind of oasis far off in the distance.
Huh.
This chamber we're in has high windows that show spires and black stars. And
Yes,
paintings on 4 walls.
correct.
Does it have any doors?
Yes, it has a chain door,
A chained door.
but you can hear the organ music coming from the other side.
Ugh.
Our prize, if we succeed in these 4 little tasks, is to get our ears pounded by even more organ music. Fantastic.
Can I try to pick the lock on the door?
Okay, so there's about maybe 6 or 7 chains wrapped around the door, as well as a what do you call it? Barricade, the sliding one.
Mhm.
Oh,
But the thing
yeah,
is,
okay.
you can easily remove that. It's like the barricade is for whatever's outside.
Oh,
How's your ego doing? My ego's alive and well. This is not funny,
Yeah.
Butterfield. I know you can hear us.
so sometimes they say the only way out is through. So what are we supposed to do? Go into the desert and feed the famished?
Maybe. I don't know.
Go into the.
Let's look at the other paintings as well. I'm gonna stick my head through the war zone next.
Yeah, you're hearing the sounds of biplanes soaring in the air, artillery, gunfire. And maybe
And
this
the
is getting
violence.
it will definitely get to Dan, as he was a veteran.
The little scenes or something. Maybe we
That
have to go in and do something in them.
correspond. Yeah.
That's the game that the mad professor wants you to play. I don't want to play his game.
But if we just stand here, nothing happens.
No, that's why so I don't care how many chains there are on the drawer. I've got a shotgun. As I said earlier, it makes an excellent lockpick. I'm not being sneaky anymore. I was hoping when I shot the soldier painting that I was actually shooting the soldier. Not that I bear the guy any ill will, but the organist is probably the nutty professor. So I'm gonna, unless you can get the chains off, I'll slide the bar out. We're going toward the goddamn organ, because the sooner we get to it, the sooner we can stop it playing.
You know, I think I do know one thing. He seemed obsessed with Freud.
You know, Freud and the gospel according to crazy ass John.
Well, there's the ego, there's the superego, but there's also the id, which is the primitive, violent mind. And we've got a door here that's chained up, not to keep us out, but to keep something in. What if that's the id? The monster.
Well, I reload first. The organ doesn't sound very id to me. The organ feels super ego to me. Churchy.
It's not good play.
I'm with Philip. I think I'm going to go into the desert and see if we can feed the famished. Cure the sick, obviously the polio guy. And
There is no cure for polio. I didn't bring any food.
But there was an oasis in the desert. Maybe there's something there that we could use to feed people.
Do you want to wait here? We'll go.
We're in a crazy dream bullshit thing. I figure something my mom always said to me was, no matter how scared you are, you always keep going. So I'm just gonna and I jump through the desert painting.
I'll go with him.
Working on the basis that this is a dream, I'm wondering if dream logic does apply to some extent here. I'm going to see if I can create a plate full of blancmange or something that we can use to feed the hungry or feed the famished with.
Yeah, give me a power roll.
Get almonds.
Yeah. You know what? I think this is worth a little bit of luck spend. I will spend 7 points and make that a success.
Okay. Right. So you managed to conjure up a bunch of bananas, lemons.
Lovely bunch of coconuts.
No coconuts.
Where did that come from exactly?
It just manifested.
I was thinking if this was a dream, I might be able to do this. And funnily enough, here it is, kind of proof that we are not fully awake.
So we can do things in our dreams.
This
can cure polio in a dream.
Yeah, this is all malleable. This is delusion. This is delirium. There we go. That's another good word for it.
Well,
so Philip has already gone through the painting as well as Braden.
Yeah, I'm sprinting towards that oasis I saw.
Are we splitting up?
Completely oblivious to everything else that's happening.
I'm sitting down on the statue's dais and waiting to see whether these people get back out of their painting or not, or whether they're stuck.
Okay.
Philip, slow down. I'm with you.
So Braden and Philip, you do see the painting still behind you. That leads back to that little the gallery, for lack of a better word.
It's an oasis. So this is a lake bed. If we get the water from the oasis to the lake bed, then we feed the famished, and then the water's back, and then it's fed, and then I think we solve the problem.
I think Floyd figured out too that we can do things because it's a dream. Maybe
Do
we can
things
make
like what?
the oasis. Like he made fruit, like out
You
of
made
nothing.
fruit.
Yeah, and Floyd, because you did that, subtract 1 sand.
So let's see what the situation is, and then we can see if we can fix it. Maybe make all of the trees in the oasis produce fruit.
Maybe. Yeah. So booking it towards this oasis.
Okay. Yeah, so you can see as you're walking past this desert, it's not quite day and it's not quite night, but what you do see is the skyline of that strange city once again in the distance.
There's a city off in the distance. See there?
But it looks, no matter how far you go, it looks impossibly equidistant.
The city.
You never get close to it.
Very strange. But are we getting close to the oasis?
You are.
Okay, good.
And as you get closer to the oasis, that's where you see you're perhaps startled by the desiccated bodies shriveled up, reaching out to you.
Oh my God.
So they're moving. They're alive, but they're
Yes.
desiccated.
And that's
I'm gonna
when
see
you
if I
get
can make. Oh, go ahead.
and when you get a little closer to this oasis, there's a lot of mist coming out of it. It looks like a lake within this dry lake bed. You can still see the exit, which is that little painting
Distant little
size.
square. Yeah.
Yes.
See if I could do what Floyd did. I mean, what kind of plants are they? Like palm trees or?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not palm trees.
Hmm.
They're trees that you've never seen before. They're bone white and they're twisted and they're completely without leaves. And you're hearing a croaking voice say,
Well, I'm going to just shrug my shoulders. I'm going to walk over and I'm going to put my hands on one of the giant white trees.
okay,
and see if
give
I can
me
turn it
a power roll.
See if I can turn it into a fruit tree. 8.
8? All right, great. What kind of fruit?
Apples.
Right, you have an apple tree. The apples are still up there, and you see them sprout one by one. No sand loss.
I'll take one of the apples and take it over to one of the famished people.
Oh, and they devour it greedily. Something stirs within the mist of the lake. Something with tendrils. Something that's attempting to drag itself out. And what you see coming out of the mist is what appears to be at first a gulper eel with an elongated jaw. However, this eel is somewhat more human and it has red hair. It looks impossibly skinny, but when it opens its jaw, it's like a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
And it kicks up a breeze and it's trying to suck Philip in.
No, you don't. And I'm going to grab Philip. Say, help me
All right,
pick
give me a
some of these
strength roll.
apples and toss them. 55 out of 60, so just barely.
Okay, so you're hanging on to Philip. You can't quite concentrate since you're holding on for dear life. What are Floyd and Dan doing? Because you're probably seeing this through the painting. Oh, you're muted.
I assume they're fairly it's hard to make out the Oasis action very clearly.
Yeah, I would say so.
The boys are being attacked by a scary version of Casilda as a monster.
Yeah, I would say so.
Idiot's going to a painting. I'll stick the nozzle of the shotgun into the desert and fire it, not directly at this little battle, because the pellets, I just want to distract her so they can deal with it. They're the idiot.
Okay. Great. No roll required. You do that. And the shot echoes out in the desert. You're still holding on to dear life. This vacuum is on suction mode.
And I'm going to
And it's
reload.
not
try to-
stop.
I'm going to try to hold on to at least part of the tree and pull him towards me and try to move away from
All right.
Gulper Eel Susan.
What about you, Floyd?
I'm going to torn between whether we go in and face each one of these together as a group and move from one painting to the next, or whether we divide and conquer and try to solve more than one. So I'm kind of weighing up my options at the minute.
Yeah. Well, the organ music, it's getting a little louder.
I'll take that as we need to divide and conquer and do this a bit quicker. I am going to go towards whichever one looks like polio victim.
Oh, it looks like a prison.
You
Prison
too,
in his
Floyd?
own body.
You too?
I just
Floyd?
said he's a prison in his own body. I'm sorry. We're all talking.
What other choice have we got? We either sit here and go mad through being subjected to organ grinder in there.
Why don't we take on the organ grinder? Why are we wandering off into these paintings to get eaten by monsters?
Do you want to find a way to get through the door? Because I think that it's just going to be our delusion says we can't get through the door until we've done this.
All right, having reloaded the shotgun, I'm going to just see if I can blast the chains off.
Okay. You reload the
Oh.
shotgun, you blast the chains off.
Okay. I was going to say I'll get out of the way to make sure that if any start ricocheting around here that
Nope.
I'm not in the way. But that
You
was-
are welcome to go. But once again, that's to keep whatever is inside the gallery safe. Because
No.
the bar was on this side.
Mhm.
I don't love what's inside the gallery. Floyd, if you think we got to dream our way through this,
There is a certain degree of dream logic here, even if it's questionable logic.
you're not crazy. All right. Should we go together into the prison, or should I take another one?
Given what's happening in the desert, I think probably we should move together.
All right,
All right.
in we go.
The organ music gets a little more dissonant and grating as you jump in to the prison.
Someone needs to tune that fucking organ.
Very well. All right, Philip, we'll jump back to you as you're holding on to dear life to Brayden. You're about to get sucked into this monster. What are you doing?
I am thinking of the biggest, heaviest thing that I can imagine falling on top of this eel, so that preferably something that is edible. So if it's going to eat something, it eats that and not me.
Okay, what are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of a gigantic, heavily overweight cow.
Give me a power roll.
Moving on.
I rolled an 8.
8, extreme?
It's an extreme.
Okay, very well. No sand loss, and you conjure a cow as it just blips into existence and it just gets sucked in. It gets sucked into this gulper eel tapeworm with tendrils that strangely resembles Susan. It's not great.
Is there a moment when it's being sucked in that the pressure on us
I would say so, yes.
releases? So I drag Philip and we move away from the gulper eel.
Okay. Yeah, you're afforded a few seconds of rest before she digests the cow.
Do we think that we can get away from the oasis?
Oh, most likely. You could run.
Should we run?
Yeah, fuck this. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. So we try to run back to the painting.
All right. All right. So she swallows the cow in one gulp. It's quite horrific. Seeing it move down her body. And, well, she doesn't seem satiated. So she's going to continue to slither, following you. And you're just booking it. Give me a con roll. Run.
59. I think the con's actually okay.
At 41
Nope,
order
I
45.
Okay.
Help by 4.
All right. In that case, you get into vacuum range. She opens her giant mouth again. And this time, you have no trees to hang on to. So, Braden, you've got pretty much one action before Philip is swallowed.
Yep. I'm going to attempt to make an elephant on the other side of Philip.
Okay.
So how do I
Give me a power roll.
power roll?
Yep.
64 is 64 out of 70.
Okay. So that one was a little more draining to do. So that was normal success. Give me a 1 sand damage.
Okay.
You feel a bit exhausted, and the elephant goes inside of this tapeworm vacuum.
And while it's blocked, we
Yep.
run farther.
And it just like explodes. It's gone.
You mean the elephant?
No, the tapeworm lady.
Oh, cool. So we can now completely run.
Yes. And you run off.
Mr. Kane, thank you so much.
Not a problem.
We'll clamber into the painting and back into the gallery.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's going to take a bit. So as you're running. So Floyd and Dan, as you jump into the prison painting, you find yourself in a cell. Locked away.
Naturally,
This looks like some kind of dungeon. The architecture is French.
hmm,
Better than Alcatraz.
Not
course.
built yet.
we're not the best of the lock pickers, but I can try.
Okay. Give me a lockpick.
Not going to spend 23 to make that.
I'm going to see if I'm going to see if I can will up the key.
Oh, okay. Right. Give me a power roll.
Because it's 65 is better than my 25 in locksmith. So
Okay.
12. So it would have been under both anyway.
Right. What degree of success is that?
That's an extreme success on my pal.
All right. No sand loss. So I will say, as you are thinking about the key, the right key to this lock, you're hearing this something colossal scrape against the walls of this prison. And when you look at it, you recognize, oh, that's an iron lung. But it has legs, making it look like a cockroach. Someone is in the iron lung, and it looks to be Edgar.
No.
That's a rather big iron lung.
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
And
Edgar,
it passes by your cell.
Mm-hmm.
so that's our keeper.
The warden, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Did you dream up a skeleton key, I hope, Floyd?
Oh, hopefully a master key, yeah.
Yeah.
I will open up the lock.
Okay, it opens.
Right. So how do we... Let's think of a miracle cure. Let's have a syringe that contains the cure, TM.
The cure. Okay.
Cure the sick. Cure the sick. Sure.
Mhm.
Who's sick? Well, you look around, and that's when you hear the coughing. People are sick, but they're locked inside their cells.
Oh, I was hoping it would just be him. Right.
No, he's in charge. So we need to move through this maze of cells. You use your master key. I guess I'll try the magic syringe.
Or get a spray or some kind of aerosol. Douse them all with it and do it as a
It'd be nice if it could release a curative gas, right? And not have to go cell to cell.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like a mustard gas bomb, except backwards.
Yeah.
I know what that looks like. I can picture the color of that stuff. So I'll just think of the opposite. All right.
All right, I'll take a power roll.
Yes.
And are you attempting to hide at all?
I think we're scuttling around the.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take a stealth roll as well, just to see if you catch the attention of the warden.
From both of us, or
Yeah, both of you.
I have to take 6 points of luck to make that power roll.
That's all right.
I would need to put a 0 on the end of that, and I don't have that much luck.
Ooh. So you are heard.
Stealth too. My stealth is a hard, so I can try to pull him away
Okay.
when I see him, stumble.
Or kicking a bucket, or whacking into the timpani drum, making as much noise as inhumanly possible.
All right, so just to adjudicate some dice rolls, you definitely make some noise. Maybe you clatter a piece of debris, and that's when you hear a horrid creak as the iron lung with tendrils with legs it turns around, and it charges directly at you, Floyd. Smashing itself against the walls.
I was going to point and just say it was him, but no, screw that. I'm getting the hell out of the way.
All right, give me a dodge roll.
I'm glad I put points in dodge. And not enough points in dodge. Oh, Christ.
No! All right.
Yeah, I'm not burning that much luck.
Okay. So I would say a cockroach like leg spears you, right? Spears you through the thigh as you're trying to scramble away. That's going to be 6 sanity, not health.
Okay.
You are feeling it like it is an actual wound. And
Is that going to... Oh, yeah, because we're not doing bouts of
Correct.
madness. So I just take the 6. Okay.
does that take you over 10? Lost?
Yes, that's 11 total now.
Okay. Your prized possession is now the king in yellow play. Get rid of your coin. Goodbye.
Dope.
And now we know how the mechanics work. All right, Dan, what are you doing?
So I was stealthy, and I spent the points to make the cure-all anti-mustard gas.
Sure.
I'm hoping
What degree of success did you get?
I had to spend points just to make it.
So 1? Okay. I'll say you get, 3 canisters of this cure-all gas, and subtract 1 sand for conjuring stuff out of nothing.
And does that put me at 9 or? Yeah, I've lost 9 then.
Okay. Well, fun stuff happens at 10. So you are good. And you're hearing Mr. Floyd scream as his leg is skewered.
Yeah. So I'm going to toss the first cure-all gas in his direction. and hope it helps with his injury as well as the coughing victims.
Okay.
Because
Sounds
he's
good.
got the key too.
Yes, he does have the key. Right. And you're hearing the people cough, and once the gas gets to them, you think that they'd cough because of the gas, but no, they seize the cough.
Good.
But you've got an entire like cell wing, and the doors are locked, but you've kind of gotten around that with gas, which is nice.
Yeah. So I'm gonna and since the gas is probably obscuring the Edgar's vision, I'm going to try and go and grab Floyd and the key and pull him farther into the maze to keep doing good works.
Yeah, I'll definitely give that to you with a strength roll to pull him away.
Strength is my fort. 17 on 80.
Okay. So you yank him out, and you're just hearing the thrashing of his metal cage, the iron lungs smash against the bars and the brick walls, and it scrapes, and you just hear it coming straight in your direction. So you're both gonna have to make another dodge roll.
28 is a success. Regular.
26 is a success.
Okay, so you both dive out of the way as it goes down like a train down the hallway, smashing all the way.
So unlock another channel, and I've got 2 more of these. Did he feel any better when he inhaled the cure gas? Or
I would say so, sure.
Did he get any sand back?
Nope.
But it makes my lungs feel better. Shame it's the pain's in my leg.
Just keep unlocking.
You think that this thing's going to have to turn at some point and charge back at you, so you are afforded a few more precious seconds.
Floyd, do you think that the gas will help him as well as the coffers?
I can
Should I
but
toss one of these at him instead of... We don't know how deep this prison is or how many dream sick people there are.
Well, let's see if I can make more of this as well. I will see if I can conjure up.
Give me a power roll.
An additional healing bomb. 02. So yes.
02, great. Yeah, you get a handful. You get like 6.
There you go. All I needed was a design to work from.
Wonder if there's a way we can leave one that will go off when he comes at us. If we can, pin it to the cages so that he can't avoid, so he has to inhale it directly. Or we can just wait till he gets on us and throw one in his face.
You could do that. Well, who's brave enough to do that?
Yeah, it's like waiting for the crocodile to come up and then putting your hand inside to pull its mouth to pull its teeth out.
Yeah. All right. Deeper into the maze then.
Okay. Well, mercifully, it's a relatively small wing. And with the remaining gas grenades, you definitely can hit everyone. But there's the problem of Edgar in his iron lung. As it's at the end of the hallway, and now it's like turned around, scraping against the walls, and it's now in prime charging position. So it's gonna go again, like a bull. All right, it's gonna charge. So give me a dodge roll or a fight back, depending on what you want to do.
Dodge is good on a 25. That's a hard success.
A hard, very nice. What about you, Dan?
I'm gonna throw one at his face.
All right, give me a fighting back. Using either throw or fighting brawl.
Brawl is better. Fighting brawl is good. Oh no, it's 4 points short. Spend 4.
Spend the luck. All right. In that case, it starts breathing in this minty fresh gas. Because that's what I imagine it to be as. And it starts to stutter and shake. Is paralyzed for a bit. It's unable to smash you into the wall. And I will say that was a success. Yeah, that it's stunned. You two both get your actions, and then we'll see. We're just gonna just toss.
It's not. It's an immobile target or stationary target.
Yep.
Start pelting it.
All right, so you start pelting it with the cure, and it starts to lay very still as you cure the sick.
Back out where we came.
All right. So you dive out the painting in the cell, and that's where you meet back up with Braden and Kane. Braden Kane and Philip Mark Masterson.
Success?
I think so.
Do we know what
Good
we're
way.
supposed to do? Do you use dream magic or dream logic to do it? I
Yep.
think the other two are going to be fairly bit more easy then. In the violence, we saw the airplanes, didn't you say, up in the sky?
We could hear them.
We could just gently take them out of the sky and put them on the ground, and there's a lot of ways we could stop the violence.
Well, so Edgar was representing his ego is not dead. He became his own affliction. He was a monster inside an iron lung that was big enough to crush us like a bug. So I imagine the war thing isn't going to say, oh, thanks for taking the planes away, but be a tank or
So
something.
we'll see. Susan was a giant gulper eel. She
And it's a
sucked.
fish.
Yeah, big old black fish with a gigantic mouth that's bigger than its head.
Oh, she was kind of far away. I couldn't exactly make it out. I thought she was like a red-headed dragon.
The organ music gets a little louder, a little more grating. So everyone reduce one sand.
You took all of the chains off the door.
That's
Yeah,
my
cool.
10th point of sanity.
Okay.
That is my 10th point of sanity.
Happy unbirthday to us all.
Okay. So your significant person now, Philip, is the Phantom of Truth. And your significant location, Raiden, is Dim Carcosa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not such a bad place.
I don't
Very
like the
holy
bright
destination.
part, just the dim part.
Correct.
They have beer. I hope they have beer.
Of course.
Well, my last place had beer.
You're not really remembering your last place.
Right. All right.
Me
So
too.
we
Oh,
I
you
don't
too?
have a
You
clue what
also
in the
lost your 10?
violence.
Yep.
Okay. Da-da. Your significant person is Casilda.
Oh dear.
You got
I
a thing for the redheads.
Sister once.
Now, I think I'm a little more afraid of vanquishing deception. I think that's our psychopath. I think that in the violence is our military guy. Shall we do it together? I think it's better with more people.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't go 2 by 2. Let's
How you
do
doing,
the
Philip?
worst one first, though.
Do which one?
The worst one. We should do the mad surgeon.
I have a feeling that I can guess with the violence how we're going to end it, but I don't have a clue what the deception is. Let's be very careful.
All right.
All right, so
Right.
you
Go in.
go into the painting and you end up on your your classic American neighborhood where people are watering their lawns and going about their day.
My mother moved to a neighborhood like this. There was a weird guy in a house with trees around it who had a greenhouse.
Yeah, it's
It seems
really
very-
sunny. People are smiling, but in the distance there is the skyline of that odd city.
Oh, yeah, I like that place.
It's a good place.
Uh,
Hi, neighbor. A woman. No, actually, a man in leisure wear comes up to you. How are you? Would you like to stop by for some refreshments on this great sunny day?
yeah, that sounds fantastic. Nice to see you,
Come
neighbor.
on in.
You look great. He leads us to a clapboard white house,
Exactly.
nice fruit trees in front.
Yeah.
I'm going to pause in the doorway before all of the blades shoot out of the walls.
No, nothing like that.
I'm sorry, neighbor. I've forgotten your name. I'm Dan
Oh, you can call me Castaigne.
Castaigne. Good to see you. What's cooking today?
Lemonade.
Gotta love lemonade.
Cooking lemonade just sounds wrong.
Well, when you try my wife's lemonade, you're going to be impressed.
It's a sunny day, nothing like a glass of lemonade. What's the secret ingredient?
Love.
Oh, the best.
Please sit.
I would like to try and see through the deception that what we're looking at can't be real. So
Which
Okay.
part gave that away?
flaws. I'm looking for flaws in the decor, something to focus on that's not
Well, I mean,
right.
you're looking at a flawless American right now. You can roll
Yeah.
psychology.
55. What is my psychology? My psychology is 45. I'll spend 10.
Okay.
To pass.
Every ounce, every molecule, every cell and atom in your body is telling you not to drink lemonade because this man behind his smiling facade is something sinister, something malign, something that wants to hurt you.
Don't drink the lemonade.
I wasn't going to. So, this lemonade, it's made by your wife, you said?
Correct.
Can we meet your wife?
Of course.
Where is she?
Why? She's getting ready in the parlor.
Well, we'll
Getting
wait.
ready for?
For a great, wonderful cookout.
What are you serving at the cookout besides your lemonade?
Well, we've got steaks, chicken, anything you could ask for.
All that for your wonderful neighbors. How nice of you.
Yes, sir. So he sets down the lemonade on the table in front of all of you.
How nice.
Mhm. I was wondering if maybe this deception is something a bit more physical rather than a psychological thing. I'm looking to see, does he wear a mask?
Does he wear a mask? Give me a spot hidden.
13, yes, that is a that is a hard success. I can spend 3 to make it an extreme if that's any
A
different.
heart is sufficient, as you can see the thin line
Mhm.
that splits the skin.
Okay, if he gets within arm's reach at any point, then I'll make a move. But until then,
Well, he's gonna set down the lemonade and sit down right in front of you.
as soon as he puts the lemonade down, I'm going to see if I can reach up and pull his face off.
Okay, great. Give me a fighting brawl.
Come on. Not a hope in hell.
All right. So he steps out of the way and he says, "Easy, neighbor. You're going to have to take me out to dinner first for that one."
I'll blow him a kiss.
Okay. And as you open your mouth, he's going to try and force lemonade down your mouth.
Dodge. I'm not
All right,
having
give
that.
me a dodge. Drink up.
Oh, shit's sake.
If he leans
Tasty
forward and
lemonade.
if he leans forward and tries to do that, then I'll try to reach up and grab his face.
All right. We're going to be in combat order now. So,
I've been waiting to just use the shotgun on him, but obviously I took a little long. So.
well, right now we're going to go into the order. Make a con roll, Floyd, as you are drinking down this lemonade, which does not taste like lemonade. It tastes medical.
Heaven's sake. No.
Okay, so you get dizzy, and your world is swirling, and as you're being force-fed this lemonade, you think with his other hand, he takes out a scalpel. But it's not quite his turn yet. Philip, what are you doing?
But hey, that's not very nice. I'm gonna like jump at him and try and like tackle him off of Floyd.
Okay, yeah, give me a fighting roll.
Fellow that's like 50 kilos soaking wet's gonna take this guy out.
That much, eh?
I got a hard success.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Holy crap, I rolled an extreme. So I'm so sorry.
Okay. So I'm gonna spend 10 luck to make it a critical.
Great. So you tackle him. You tackle him off of Floyd. He's still gripping onto the scaffold. So easy there, friend. All right, Brayden, it's your turn.
All right. What I'm going to do, since Philip jumped in front of me, I'm going to touch Floyd on his shoulder, and I am going to attempt to materialize a large feather down his throat so that he throws up.
Oh, okay. Give me a power roll.
Nope.
All right. You get your feather. Lose a d6 sanity, though.
Okay. Lost 2.
Okay. All right. So you've conjured
it's
the
not
feather.
in the back of his throat. Yeah.
No, you're going to have to do that manually. Dan, it's your turn.
With Philip grappling our friend Castaigne.
It's a little risky to shotgun him.
Yeah, I'm going to stand up, knocking the table and the glasses and the pitcher over, and present the shotgun to Castaigne's gut.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Yeah, roll.
Would that be a brawl?
I would say, so you're going to melee his gut with the stock of the gun?
I mean, I don't think I can get up, knock everything over, and get in between them.
Yeah, give me a brawl then.
Yeah. Just being, oh, wow. That's a 19. I can make it a hard with 2.
No need.
Okay.
So you slam him in the gut. I think that's a d6 of damage.
Great.
You hear something crunch inside.
Ugh. Well, I got a 6. And it's not built like us, friends. Did you hear that?
Right. So now it's Castaigne's turn, and you're holding on to him, Philip. And he's shouting out, I offer free makeovers, and he's just going to start stabbing you. His scaffold.
Yep, I'm going to try and roll out of the way.
Okay.
Oh no.
I rolled a 93.
Okay. Right. So he's repeatedly stabbing you in the stomach with the scalpel.
It's just dream
And
damage.
yeah, take 7 sanity.
7 sanity. Brilliant. So I am now down to 17.
Okay. So you've had. Oh, I don't want to take away your teddy bear.
But you're
That's
going to.
exactly what I'm going to do. You no longer care about your teddy bear, Philip. Oh, wait, no. You're at 17. So you got 3 more.
I have 3 more.
You're good. For now.
Actually, no, I'd have.
And then the teddy gets him.
Yeah, then the teddy bear's going.
I have 2 more until my
Yep.
20.
Philip, what are you doing? You're being stabbed and it feels horrible. You don't want a makeover? Not at all. It is your turn.
I am not happy about being stabbed.
No.
However, I am aware that there is a person with a gun.
True.
So I am going to try and scuttle away as best I can, putting some distance between me and him.
Okay. Call it a dodge.
Call it a dodge. And that's a hard success.
All right, you maneuver out of the way. Brayden, you've got the feather.
Yeah, but now is Castaigne like on his hands and knees? How is he stabbing Philip?
I would
Philip
say
is
he's
the
on
ground.
his back
Okay, he's on his back.
as Philip was on top of him.
Okay, I was thinking about using the feather on Floyd, but when I see him stab Philip, I am going to kick the fuck out of the guy's head.
Okay. Yeah. He's gonna try and dodge for the penalty die because actually no, this is this first attack on him in this round, so he's fine. No penalty die.
Where is the?
As you try to stomp on his head, right? He's just shouting, "You don't want to do that, friend!"
Is this a brawl, huh?
It is a brawl.
He does. I don't hit him. I stomp next to him, maybe.
All right, then he maneuvers out of the way.
Yes, I do want to do it, you son of a bitch.
All right, Dan, you've got the shotgun.
I think this calls for both barrels.
Wonderful.
Regular success. But it is against his gut. So
Yeah, great.
is that maximum impaling situation?
Should be
I
a
mean, if
bonus.
he was a normal human, sure. But so we'll just roll damage. Roll 8d6. That's a good number.
It is a good number.
Normally.
86.
I didn't bring out 4.
So you pull both triggers of the shotgun, right? It goes through his gut and into the kitchen cabinets that just absolutely shatter, splinter and wood. You hear the dishes break within. And then the furniture that you're starting to destroy, it starts bleeding. Behind the wooden panels of each cabinet are sickly organs. And yeah, you blast them in the gut. And he says, "That tickles, friend." He's got a hole in the stomach. And where guts and organs should be are these pallid tendrils.
Pallid, you say? When I stood up and knocked over the table and the lemonade, did
Mhm.
everything break?
The table broke for sure.
I
The
think-
pitcher, I would say, had. Do you want it to shatter?
I'm thinking we might need to give him some of his own lemonade.
Okay.
That's probably next round?
Yeah,
Or
it's probably a next round thing because it is Mr. Castaigne's turn.
I will suggest to them that maybe he wants to have a refreshing beverage. A little of a surgeon needs his own medicine. Leo, shut up. Your name is Leo.
I'm Castaigne.
Not anymore.
And as he's yelling that out, he's trying to slash your tendons, Brayden, with his scalpel.
Mine? Oh,
Yes, yours.
you mean like my Achilles tendon?
Correct.
All
Because
right.
you're trying to stomp on
I'm,
him.
I'm doing the
Give me a dodge.
I'm doing the Irish dance where I keep my hands.
Give me a dodge or a dance. Either or.
I got an 11 out of 27 on my dodge.
11
So
out
my
of
feet
27.
are fast.
And he's just trying to like stab at your legs.
I am the Lord of the Dance.
Meanwhile, the tendrils that have emerged from this creature's stomach, they're reaching out for you, Dan. To spear and whip and lash.
Dodgy dodge, dodge. Oh dear. 97 is not a good roll for dodge.
Well, let's see if I fail. I did. So you're good. Very lucky.
Imitate his dance.
Man, Leo's having a hard time. That's all right. Well, it is Floyd's turn.
Right. Now maybe we'll do something. I'm going to see if the guy's face is still within range now. And
He's on the ground.
I'm going to try and get that mask off by putting my hand around either side of his face, my thumbs into his eyes so I can get purchase and then rip.
Okay, give me a fighting brawl. He'll try to dodge that with a penalty die.
05! So yes, an extreme.
Oh my god, he rolled 96. All right, so you dig in. And it's not like he has no mask. It was a mask. And whatever's down here is not human. Not at all. It's indescribable.
Vanquish deception. Pull that mask off.
True. But whatever this thing is, it starts screeching and flailing around.
Curb stomp it!
I'll let you curb stomp it.
I presume that's my action, is just pulling the mask off, so I'm just yelling that.
I'll let you do this curb stomp because it's technically stunned.
Oh, yeah. Is that another roll?
Yeah, no roll required. You stomp its head in and it caves in. You feel the skull let loose and it's done.
I'm never drinking lemonade again.
I was trying to get you to throw up.
That's disgusting. Oh.
Does the lemonade still look like lemonade?
No.
That's all. That's my last question. Let's go back to the
number 4.
Yeah. As you step out of the friendly neighborhood, you realize it's not a friendly neighborhood at all. It's very run down. The insides of things are organic.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And you make it back to the gallery.
Straight to number 4. Don't want to listen to the organ grinder beating our ears.
All right, you run into the battlefield, you dive in, and it doesn't look like a normal battlefield. Think of an M.C. Escher painting think of the inside of a cylinder, right? And line the inside of the cylinder with trenches. And you have biplanes floating through the center of this cylinder. And in the distance, you can see that same skyline with black stars in the sky. There's machine gun fire. There's what looks like to be skeletal soldiers firing at each other. The sounds of artillery as the ground shakes. And in the distance, there appears to be a bunker, and it has a flag. And on the bottom of the flagpole is a white flag. But how are you going to get there? Because there is absolute chaos. People are shooting at each other. The ground is shaking.
How about we think laterally? We can see the rope going up to the top of the pole. Yeah?
Yeah.
Manifest a heavy weight at the top of the pole attached to the rope that then gravity does the rest, pulls the rope, hoists the flag.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, you can do that. You can try
Grandma's
and
iron.
manifest. But I will let you know that whatever you manifest goes to you. It doesn't manifest somewhere else.
Ah, right. Okay.
Couldn't manifest a feather on your throat, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's battlefield going on. There's machine gun fire.
So we make a little juggernaut.
Tank.
Oh, you're gonna manifest a tank. Okay.
Thinking just like two heavy metal wheels that we could go between down the line between the trenches. Not as many moving parts.
With big steel plates on the side so that if they shoot the bullets, just bounce off.
thick wheels, and just like roll it down.
A moving barricade.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Give me a power roll.
Can we all contribute?
Yeah, you can all contribute.
29 is a hard success from me.
Okay.
I can spend a few points to make it a hard success.
Okay.
I did not succeed.
That's fine.
I also
Well, you've been
think
stabbed.
I feel I have 75, which is too much to spend, but not catastrophic.
All right. So on a hard or a success, take 1 sand damage. Failure, D6. But you do manifest this tank, and since you all work together on it, it's a little more sturdy. Let me know if you lost 10, 20, or 30. But yes, you lost 10 now? Okay. But
No,
you've already
I've been
gotten
past.
something replaced.
Got a little way left to go before I hit 20.
Very nice. Oh, don't worry. This part will shred you. No, I'm kidding. Maybe. You're playing it very safe.
Shred or
Two
no
away
shredding.
from my 20.
All right. So you all jump into this land vehicle, this armored vehicle. So which one of you actually know how to drive? Maybe Dan, because he's been in the war before.
Well, again, I was pushing for basically not a machine, but just a giant, like a yo-yo, like 2 giant shields.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that we could just roll our way there and not have to. I don't want to be in a tank.
Strength is better than drive, is what I'm hearing.
All right. So you're going to push this barricade past. Are you going to go into the trenches or on the flat area where that known as no man's land? Where
I think we're trying to stay on no man's land because they're shooting at each other, and we just want to get to the barricade.
Okay. Yeah, you're hearing the bullets plink off of the shields already. Like the bullets are flying everywhere. And there's a plane and the death roar of the plane as you can hear the engine going as it just crashes into the ground.
Hustle, hustle.
All right, give me a strength roll. Whoever's pushing can get 2 bonus die.
Oh, cool.
Dan is the one with the muscles here.
16.
Okay. Yeah, that's really awesome. So as you're pushing your way past no man's land, there's explosions, and then you're hearing a battle cry, something that also shakes the ground.
Shit.
And it's a hulking abomination that is probably about 10 feet tall, pure muscle, and it is wrapped in barbed wire. In one hand, it has a giant trench mace, and the other, it has a dagger that now looks like a sword because of the size. Its face is twisted, deformed, and it's charging right at your little shield. Right across the battlefield. Being shot, being unhindered. What are you all doing?
Is it traveling? Okay, so here's the wheels.
Yep.
We're in the middle.
Yep.
Is it traveling like this, like this, like this?
Head on.
It's head on.
Yep.
Okay.
So from the barricade that we're trying to reach?
Yes.
Okay.
It looks
I'm
like
gonna
it's about to
push.
smash the shit out of you.
You guys dream ether, gas him.
I was going to try and dream up a big long spike on the front of our thing.
Okay. Yeah, you can do
Um,
that.
So that it'll go right through him.
Or at least impale him and stop him getting closer.
Right.
So you're going to dream up like a spear to hold out.
Yeah. Part of the
Okay.
structure itself, so that
You'll have to attach it manually, though.
we don't have time. We're moving forward.
That's correct.
I wonder,
Don't
can
we just
we
shoot it with our
manifest it?
tank?
Well, it's not really a tank. It's just two
It's not
big
really a tank.
wheels.
It's a big thing. Okay.
Um, could drop a cow on it.
You could drop a cow on him, sure.
If we drop a cow in the way, and that would at least stumble them a little bit, so we can
Drop an
take
elephant
a pot
away.
shot with a shotgun.
All right,
or
well-
something.
Make your decision. Make that power roll. Or don't.
All right, big fat dairy cow in between us and the thing.
Jesus.
Gas him!
13.
13. All right, great. That's a hard or
That
extreme?
is I believe it's a hard.
All right, take one. And
Is it hard? Yep.
right, you manifest the cow. It barely gets out of moo before it's smashed by a trench mace in one blow, turned into hamburger meat. You can see bone shards, just muscle, sinew. You're splattered by it. And it did that with one hand.
Hamburger Hill.
All right.
Yeah, it's
Manifest
right there
must-
now. But that was its turn. So what are you all doing? It's Floyd's turn if we're going to combat order.
Make with the gas.
Mustard
All right, give me
gas.
a power roll.
Better hope it doesn't blow in our direction.
Sleeping gas, not mustard.
I will spend 3 points of luck to make that a regular success.
Okay, take one, San, and then you do have some sleeping gas. You're welcome to throw it with the throat roll. It might get a little sticky because you're all near each other. You're in smashing range.
We can see what he's doing.
I can try and throw it. I'm not very good at throwing.
All right.
Is anyone?
I will
is
say either way, you'll get the gas off, sure, but depending on your failure, if it fails, it's definitely going to hit you unless you've run out of the shield
I'm
and into the
asking,
gunfire.
is anyone a good thrower, or shall I just lob it and hope?
Lob it and hope, I reckon.
Love it and hope, and we'll start backing away.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, perhaps.
Are you so
if
you're backing
this-
away outside of the shield?
Hang on, if this gas distracts it, potentially
I guess
someone
we can.
who acts next or soon could jump out and run past it while it's dealing with everyone in the tank, and then do a desperate lunge for the flagpole.
Well, my worry seems to be ill-founded. 14 is under my 20.
Yeah. All right. So you managed to lob it just enough so that it hits the hulking abomination in your way, and it starts to get a little woozy. We'll see. Wow, 93. So yeah, I'll say that it will get some penalties on its attempts to just destroy you in one hit. Philip, what are you doing?
So
The way forward is blocked by gas and this abomination.
if I were to hold my breath and sprint through this gas, would I be conceivably obscured by it so that it wouldn't see me running through?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Or
there are bullets flying.
yes, but there are bullets flying. That's fine. But that's a risk.
I feel like that's the risk that we have to take, though. Because
Look at this character development,
This
Philip.
thing's bearing down on it. Well, like his mother always said, no matter how scared you are, you keep going. And it feels lost a bit of sanity. He's not thinking too clearly now. But yeah, I think that I think that this is potentially our best shot at making this happen because
Okay.
now there is a smoke screen up, the thing is distracted. I think this is the best chance that we have for me to sort of scooch through and
So you're gonna run
jump.
for it.
I'm gonna run for it. Yeah,
All right. Give me a luck roll.
32. Have a look. That is a success.
Okay, so perhaps you flinch because of the bullets like whizzing by your head, but you're running forward, going through the mud. I will say you get about halfway there, while your teammates are still in the thick of things. Brayden, what are you doing?
I think I'm going to attempt to do the same thing, but I am going to make a smaller version of our thing that I can hold in my hands so that I have shields on either side of me as I run.
Okay, yeah, great. Give me a power roll.
Ooh, 61. What is it? Oh, 61 out of 70. Okay.
All right, take one, Sam.
Okay.
As you make these two shields that you can hold in either hand. Dan, what are you doing? This thing's about to smash the two shields that you're all in.
I'm not sure how far my fellows are getting ahead with the fog of war and everything.
Right.
I do not want to get smashed, so I want to.
I mean, you either get smashed or you get shot.
So he's got a saber in one hand and a what in the other?
A trench club. It's a nasty looking club with metal on the tip.
Yeah, mace kind of business.
Yes.
But he's not shooting.
No.
So I'm gonna just try. So we're in this between these two wheels with a pole.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna just rim them with. I'm gonna connect them with lead so that he can't smash my head in with his or slice me in half.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, power roll.
15.
Okay. Is that a extreme?
That's a hard.
All right, so I will deduct one, Sam.
Good.
This is crazy. This is madness.
It certainly is.
As you make this metal shield to guard the vital components, and this is the part where he brings the club down.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to attack anyone in particular. He's just going to smash this contraption. Yeah. He gets penalty die because he's woozy. Okay. So at this time, I know Floyd's inside, Dan's inside, and Braden's inside. So
no, I'm
you ran out. Okay, great. All right, so those of you inside, take a D4 sand damage as it just smashes the side of the shield, and it like knocks it over, and it goes tumbling into the mud.
2.
4.
Ooh. As you feel ribs break, you feel bruised. It feels all too real. And you've been sprawled in the mud outside of this shield, which has a huge dent in it now from just the mace hit. You have no cover. Luckily enough, you are prone, so the bullets aren't really hitting you quite yet.
I assume that the smash thing fell into one of the trenches, or is it just it's a no man's land, but
it's a no man's land. Yeah, and it's on its side.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, we will. Floyd, it's your turn. You're in the mud. You're caked in it.
Get the hell out of there.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely doable. Just make a luck roll.
No.
Okay. You feel yourself getting shot. You feel the searing pain as one bullet hits you in the shoulder.
Ah, damn it.
Take 7 sanity.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That pushes me over my 20.
All right, what? All right. Your significant person is now, I believe, Notabella. Oh, Noah. He's the high priest. Yeah. You will dream of him at night from now on.
That
Should you get out?
Least, I was going to say, that sounds at least reassuring that I will be dreaming about him.
Should you get out? So, but you manage to scramble away. You are behind Braden and Philip as they are running past No Man's Land. And now it's going to be Philip's turn. You are almost at the bunker.
Yep. Sprinting to the bunker. Just going hell for leather.
All right. Yeah, because you're sprinting through No Man's Land without protection, give me another luck roll.
94.
94, you get shot. Oh no.
Oh.
1 through the cheek. Actually, not this way, but like this way.
Mm.
So take 3.
Ouch. 3 is sufficient to push me down over 20 sanity loss.
All right, what do you have left?
I have my...
Oh, your teddy bear.
My teddy bear, yeah.
You know how I got these scars?
I'm sorry. Your teddy bear does not matter anymore. The King in Yellow play is all you care about.
Mm-hmm. I just sort of reach into my pocket and I...
No!
Oh, no.
The play has subsumed your desire, your personal treasure.
Poor Teddy.
But you keep running. Raiden, you're hearing the clinking of bullets smashing against your shields. Yep. And you're
Fortunately,
running.
it kind of obscures my view this way, so I don't see Philip go down. I head for that building.
Okay, and you've reached the bunker.
Do I have to climb up to get to the...
Yes, you do.
Flagpole?
Yes, you do. Because you have to climb the bunker itself.
I'm going to...
Meanwhile, the skeletal soldiers, they shoot at each other, but they have no... They don't notice you at all. They're fighting their forever war.
Then I will put a ladder on the wall so that I can climb up onto...
All right, give me a power roll. You're basically replacing a climb roll with a power roll. So.
Right. 08. So...
08, no sand loss.
Second or third time I've gotten 08 this time.
Beautiful. All right, you conjure a ladder.
And I quickly scramble up and I grab the rope.
All right, we'll have to climb up that ladder first, but you will be able to do that without a roll. Now, I want to see what's happening to Dan as he's sprawled in the mud. Looks like this club's about to go down on you next.
Yeah, I'm seeking. I'm trying to hide under the heaviest part of the shield that remains, and I'm thinking about being in the trenches in France, and I'm thinking about the carrion birds that are the thing that I hate the most.
Oh, yes.
And I'm going to make a carrion bird big enough to fuck with this piece of shit.
Oh, okay. In that case, give me a power roll.
33 is successful. It's a regular success.
All right, so take 1 sand, and it is quite a sight as you see a giant crow come down and start pecking at this thing's back, ripping out lumps of flesh, and it tries to swat at it. And it flails. It flails around. So that was its turn. But Floyd, what are you doing?
Hoping I'm not getting shot at again. If it's distracted by Dan and a big bird, pretty much just dive forward and then start trying to crawl along on the ground that hopefully I don't get shot then.
Yeah, no roll required. You'll just go slower. Philip, you are running. You were just shot. Yep. You see Braden, he set up a ladder.
I'll climb up the ladder and pull the flagpole.
All right, but give me a strength roll because it's quite heavy. These burdens.
86.
Do you manage to put up? What flag do you choose?
I unfortunately do not have the luck to spend to make that a success.
Okay, so perhaps you strain and you strain and you burn your hands with rope burn, but you are not strong enough alone. All right, Brayden, you climb up the ladder. You see Philip
Yeah.
struggling.
I'm with Philip. I will reach up and I will literally leap, grab the rope, and fall with him also pulling on it.
All right, give me a strength roll with a bonus die.
35 and 70. 35, yeah, that's 60. I can even add 5 luck points to make it a hard.
Oh, no need. All you need was a success. And what flag did you put up?
The white one.
Okay, so as soon as you do that, a horn sounds in the distance, and there is the sound of silence. And this creature, still being attacked by the crow, it starts to scream and scream and scream. And then it glows white with light, and it's like an explosion went off. An atom bomb, even.
Right on top of my friends.
Yeah, and it appears that you are back in the gallery.
All right. And I'm looking at Philip to see if, Jesus Christ, dude, your face. Nobody's going to ever fuck with you again.
Chicks dig scars.
Hope you didn't
Yeah.
lose any teeth.
I'm here. Still going.
You hear, and there is another door open.
Was it the one that had the bar across it? Or
No,
is it
it's a different one that was not there before.
What does it look like?
It looks like another one of these castle doors. And give me a listen roll.
I was going to ask about the damned organ. 03. I hear
Success.
Okay, so
Regular.
past the organ, right? You hear a familiar sound. It sounds like the Arkham streets. Cars going past.
all. I think this is the way, guys.
Yep.
Don't need to be
Alright.
told twice.
Out of there.
All right, and it's a very long hallway that you step into. And as you
Step, run.
as you run into, right? And you hear the sound of a horse behind you. A golden horse when you look back. And on it is a figure in tattered robes and a pallid mask. And it's chasing you. So I'd like one last con roll to run your way down this hallway.
This is why I
I
saved
got
a
a
whole load of luck.
19.
19?
Is
Okay.
a hard success.
36 is a regular from me. I will spend however much luck I need to make it to go down to what I need it to.
Okay, let me roll.
I think my bride is here.
All right.
Back
Who
home
has-
to Dim Carcosa.
Who has the lowest luck? Brayden or Dan?
I have 40 still.
I'm at
on
55.
well.
Okay.
I can
So-
spend 20 to make that con a success if that's how it works.
Yeah,
but
spend it.
done and done.
All right. So you all run past, you're panting, your heart is beating, but you're seeing Brayden. He's sluggish. He's being left behind, and this figure on the gold horse, it's getting closer to him. And it's reaching out to you, Brayden.
Does it it's just with its hands.
Yes, with his hands.
Okay, I'm gonna try really hard to manifest a knife.
Oh, okay. Give me a power roll.
You brought a
Ooh,
knife to a
27.
godfight.
All right, now give me one last roll. This is the most important roll of your character's life.
Yeah, my brawl's not so great. An Irishman. Oh, I got a 20. 20 is my brawl. My brawl is 25.
Nice. All right. So as it reaches out to you, trying to grab you, slash its hand, and this golden nectar starts spilling out, and the horse slows down, and you manage to run through that last door. And with the flash, you all awaken on the floor of an abandoned mill.
Is there a professor around anywhere?
Oh, you know that sand loss? That all comes back. And now you can roll for your. At this point, you're probably past your indefinite. So yeah, just roll D10 for the sanity breakage.
8.
8. Okay. Thom, what is 8?
Several disorders. I've got a 2.
You got an 8. Roll a 1d4.
Four.
You have the red mist, and 4, you attack the nearest friend.
Oh shit.
Oh.
On the plus side, I am fairly ineffectual at doing this.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We can adjudicate whatever happens once I figure out what everyone is up to.
I've got a big
2?
knife.
Flipping me off.
That's that grand old British gesture there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me give sanity. Thom, do you know what a 2 is?
A 2 is flee in panic.
Okay.
You flee until you pass out, and then yeah.
Okay. I've got a scene for you. All right, Philip.
I rolled a 3.
All right, Thom.
3 is hysteria. 1d4.
Okay.
Roll a 1d4.
And last but not least, what about you?
Screaming. It's screaming for 3.
Okay.
I will respectfully not roleplay that, but you can imagine it's happening.
All right. So, given that everyone has gone bout of madness, Dan, you wake up in the morning along the shore of the river, the Arkham River. It looks like you've been swimming the entire night. The 3 of you awaken in Arkham Sanatorium.
Told you I should have checked in here ages ago.
With heavy mental damage. The police question you, like, what happened? Why? You're obviously not in your facility, so we're going to keep you in here for a bit. And you're going to be spending a couple months here. Dan, when you look back at the scene, they also have scooped up Professor Butterfield. And you are the only one that avoided getting put into a sanitarium. So what does your life look like?
Oh, how many days later is this?
I would say it's at least one day later.
So I went back to the office and put incriminating material away. I went home and cleaned up real good. I called the dean and said, we found Butterfield. And he became very dangerous. Have you heard from the sanatorium?
I heard about the convicts. They're still missing to this day.
Still missing. And I assume, Dean, that you did not authorize Butterfield to take them out?
Of course not.
Of course not.
But at least we have a scapegoat now.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about his tenure anymore. He went off the field.
But what happened?
You've heard about the nerve agents that the Krauts developed in the Great War.
Right.
I think Butterfield found some kind of nerve agent that made people worse. So when we got in there, we found a couple of the patients, but then we got gassed. And I might have been the one to recover first, but it's bad news, and we should find him and put him away.
Okay, very well. That report is sufficient.
All right.
We
We
find
might
your
have,
check in the mail.
that's good to know. We might contact you about future matters.
We'll keep in touch.
Very good. And of course, I'm going to check on there was obviously nobody showed up at the office. So I'll do the regular calls, hospitals, etc.
Yeah, eventually you find out that they're all in the sanitarium, checked in.
And then I will cash the check.
Wonderful. And so ends Psychogenesis.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so my take on this scenario was a flip on how Carcosa worked. The idea was, what if Carcosa wasn't a place that you got to, but what if it was Carcosa? What if Carcosa was something that was always inside of you that just needed to be activated? And it would just swap out your personality and your experiences with the events of characters of the play. So that's where we have the dissolution of the superego and getting that replaced. And I threw in some four horsemen mythology just to keep it fresh.
No, it was really cool.
There's also the horse of the invisible, which
Mm-hmm.
was quite amusing as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm also going to be. I will probably try to help my friends get out of the madhouse, but
That's good.
I might be too busy trying to find the professor and my beloved Casilda.
That's true. Because you've had part of your personality replaced while you were in Carcosa in this deep state in your mind, which was why you were able to manifest stuff. So just the general outline of what happened. Professor checked people out because he went to Europe, got followed by the organist, who is I would say he is a servant for the King in Yellow. I forgot to tell you this part, but
it's very much like the imagery in the Court of the Dragon.
Yeah, in the Court of the Dragon, he gave him a copy of the play, and he stitched it into himself.
As one does.
Yeah. But not before making the reels to try and help and fix people. And he succeeded. He found these, antisocial behavior, sociopaths, extremely violent, extremely depressive people, and he just replaced their personalities, locked them away. So yeah, that was Psychogenesis, which means the origin of something is within the mind.
Very good.
Let's say he repaired their reputations.
Mm-hmm.
I think you had a better candidate for either death or violence there with Philip's horrible Teddy torture right there. That
What?
was,
Oh my God.
Teddy had a great time. He's hanging out on a stick now.
No!
he went to pieces. Quite literally.
He was a wonderful companion in the darkness, and unfortunately, he doesn't compare to the wonder that is the King in Yellow.
That's true.
Man,
Man,
I
you
just
love
want
that
to get
play.
back home.
Especially the second act.
Oh, poor Teddy. Our players included Matthew Sanderson, David Gassaway, Raley Kruger, and myself, with Alex Sun as the keeper of arcane lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastery. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.